Mhm. You can. Yeah, you can. I didn't mute myself. Isn't it fun though?
Mario time. Woohoo!
Oh my gosh, it's so fun. Dad, Johnny. It's just so fun though. I'm trying to figure out how I stop sharing it and like, but it's so cute. It's not 11:30 yet though. Welcome in everybody. Get your drinks. It's almost time. Or do a potty break if you can do them that fast. I just found it, so I might get hit with copyright, but I can take it off the beginning, I think. We'll see. Whee! Isn't it cute? Shiny, you can use them with the kids when they're doing work to settle them. I can't stop it. That's funny. Are you seasick? I'm sorry, Duncan. Look away. It's almost done on my side. 1 minute. Get your drinks. Feels like it's slowing up. Homestead Aquarius. Yay! The end of the counter's so cute. There's Yoshi.
Well, that was sure fun. I had a great time.
Princess Peach. Yay! It was so cute. I had to do it. I was looking for some unique ones and I found that one. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Fri-Yay. It's not your neurotypical Fri-Yay. It's good to see everybody in the house. Actually, it was neat to see Dennis came in for a second. I haven't seen him in quite a while, so it was good to see him pop in. Oh, Gardner Josh was the first one in the house. Storms, Radios, and Cats was the second one. Then Diva in the Dirt, Maureen Washington. And there's Dennis. Dennis, it's so good to see you. Shawnee Shave, you snuck in. Like, I must have looked away for a second. And yeah, there you were. I saw people saying hi to you. And Duncan 1900 Homestead. Hey, Brenda, good to see you. And Aiden here, my mate. Oh, not like mate, like I'm married to somebody else, but you know, because he's from the UK. He's an Englishman. Bob, have you figured out where you are yet, Bob? 942, Kentucky Goblin, welcome. I think I'm almost there. La la la. I am almost there. And Homestead Aquarius. Hopefully everybody is back from going potty. Oh, your wife brought home lumpia. Yeah, I've heard that's quite delicious, Bob. I have this on subscribers only mode, so I can drop the link. Oh, I do have, let's see, neurotypical. Let me just see if I can share what I found. Give me a second. I have to go back in and hit the share because I just got rid of the other one. Okay. So this is a really cute little cartoon about perceived traits of neurotypical personality from somebody who's not neurotypical. I have ADHD. I'm probably even further in on the autism spectrum the older I get and the more that I learn about autism. Definitely my father was autistic. My mother might have been ADHD. But it says like perceived traits, and this is how we perceive it because socially we have some hangups sometimes. Some of us don't, but a lot of us do. It says strong social and communication skills of neurotypical people. They navigate socially complex situations with ease. I don't know if I would say with ease. I think socially complex situations still require you to really tune in. Oops, it just kicked it out for some reason. Wait a minute. There it is. All right, let me scroll it. And makes friends and establishes romantic relationships with ease. I don't know about that because that's not always on us or on them, that particular person. But this is how we view it because the social aspect is difficult when you are somewhere on the spectrum, including with just ADHD. And the ability, this is an important one, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. The ability to participate in loud, crowded, or visually overwhelming settings with ease. And this is where I'll leave that. I'm going to get rid of the sharing. As I've gotten older, that's become more and more difficult, actually, those kind of situations. So let me put, and we don't have to just stay on that subject because some people, you know, I'd like to know like where people think they're falling now that more information is coming out about the autism spectrum really, really being a spectrum. It's not like, uh-oh, I just did something dumb. Go figure. Let me try that again. I went to copy and hit something else. Okay, there we go. I think so too, Larks. I think a lot of us fall onto the spectrum more than most realize. My sister's just considered like autism spectrum, the part of the spectrum like that Malachi's on, and a lot of people still do. And it's not just the severe side of the spectrum. That's why it's a spectrum. And it's not even just an arc like a rainbow. I saw it as a circle where, they had all these different tendencies. Hi, Passamaquoddy. Um, yeah, I'm not a big crowds person either, even though I can be more outgoing. I am both. I have times where it gives me just anxiety, but big crowds always give me anxiety no matter what. Even being extroverted, they give me anxiety. Um, Concerts now, I have to bring earbuds or the foam ear um, inserts to tamper down the loud, you know, music because and it's not just, I don't think, people be like, oh, well, you're getting older. No, I've kind of never tuned into it bothering me. My system started saying it's bothering you because it started giving me migraines with the visual and the auditory. And I wouldn't be surprised if, because it's brain related, that a lot of us, as we get older, get fibro, get um, some type of, how do you say that? Adrenal fatigue, because our senses are just totally overwhelmed. Oh, yeah, we all would have anxiety in Bob's Basement, Kentucky Goblin. That's true. But right now I'm just thinking of, non-neurotypicals with everything that's in the news, how they just have to shut it off because like my daughter will like not even talk about it. She'll go in her room and just play her video games. Yes, I've seen actually a girl who has that Shawnee shave. Let me actually highlight that. Yeah, demand avoidance. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you are like, you need to clean your room. Well, now I can't clean my room because you just told me to clean my room. Yeah. Yeah. They don't all have that, but also they end up being labeled as difficult and rebellious. And you're right. They might just have that pathological demand avoidance and they don't necessarily, it's their brain. It's just right away kicks out that idea. Yeah. Which is hard. Like that's hard on a parent. Free snacks. Ladies only in my basement. Free snacks and Wi-Fi boxes. Hey GT, good to see you. But yeah, I'd never heard of that one, Shawnee Shave. They used to call it something else when I was teaching. And I think it's actually a different thing. Oppositional defiant disorder. They used to call everybody who was like that. But now they're finding out, they're not being defiant. It's just something in their brain that kind of cannot handle too many demands at once or a command. Like if you command them, oh, well, then, now you're definitely not getting it. I definitely feel like I live with somebody who has a little bit of PDA. I won't say who in my family. But if you come up on panel, you don't have to necessarily talk about this. It was just something to intro into because we're seeing a lot of it on YouTube, which I think is great because it's giving voice to the kids who aren't necessarily and the adults who aren't necessarily far into the spectrum, that they fall somewhere within it. And maybe also just people newly diagnosed who are our age, who, like when I was young, I have ADHD, but how I found out was we went and they didn't label it. What they did label with my mother was just, she needs more discipline. And it came to be known as the kids who heard that a lot in the 70s, most of them had a form of ADHD. Hey, Cornfed Life! Are you guys all in your new place? I haven't been able to come in and check out your channel in a bit. Hey, GT, good to see you.
What's up? How you doing?
Good. What's up? How are things going?
Things are going well. Things are going well. Um, Now, what was the name of that disorder again?
It is called, Shawnee put it up. Hold on. Boop, boop, boop. Here. It is called PDA, pathological demand avoidance. So sometimes giving them room, I noticed saying like in 20 minutes, I'd like you to, you know, clean your room, start cleaning that up or whatever has helped with some of the neurotypical, I mean, neurotypicals with neurodivergent people in their life, rather than just saying, can you come here and do this like right now? For me, even when my husband's like taking out the laundry and I'm not expecting it, I'm like, I'm not ready for that. Like he's taking it out the dryer. Hey, look at you, girl, all in the white. Looks good. Oh,
Hey,
she's got to
Maureen.
close something out. Got it?
No, it was the fact that I still had the other one playing in the background, so it was like I don't know if you guys maybe you can't hear it because I'm mic'd in earphone.
No, I can't hear it.
Hello, hey GT, how are you?
Hey there, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Oh, it's dark at your place this time.
Yeah,
Yes.
It's looking
Yes.
like nighttime.
it's
Yeah,
the
it's
winter
starting to
closing
change.
in. Are you guys getting
Mhm.
winter, right? You're already in
Yeah.
it in, you said the end of, it was crazy, June, July. What did you say? When yours starts, the cold weather starts, it was like nuts. Like fall starts June, I think, when we were
No,
on Marines.
it starts the summertime starts in June.
Oh, okay. But I mean, you were saying it started to get colder. When was that? You guys start experiencing like your colder weather. Is it the
Mm,
same as us? Like up in Alaska? I don't know. I thought you said something,
August.
it started a lot earlier. Oh, okay. August. Okay. It's not that much. I thought it was a lot earlier for some reason.
Like it's 34 degrees right now.
That's winter to me, like way winter.
Yeah, but I got on the short sleeve.
Yeah, because you're used to it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I knew
Alaska the
people like that.
beautiful. I'm him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this girl would be, I'd be suffering. How you doing, Marine? Good to see you.
I'm probably doing okay. I'm just trying to see what
Get
it
your
is
number.
for to Celsius, what 34 is, because I don't think it's that bad. Oh,
Mm.
no. Well, that says 1 for me. I don't think that's correct. Let's just check this.
I
Oh, yeah.
think that's about
So
right.
that's what it is. It is. It's 1 degree Celsius. Yeah, it's not that's not what, I have here today, but, it's,
Okay, watch
and
out.
my winter doesn't we don't have winter.
Mhm.
You don't
So
have winter? What?
no,
Wow.
no.
So, Bob.
You are
Well,
you like us as far as like it's more temperate and you don't get
it's more temperate. We will get some snow. We
okay.
could go down to -15 Celsius, which, let me just check what that is. It's not bad.
Celsius?
Minus
What?
15 is not bad.
Celsius?
I'm Canadian.
What?
So minus
I know you
15
are.
is
I know.
is 5 Fahrenheit.
Mhm.
So that's,
Yeah.
so 5 Fahrenheit is not bad. So minus 15. So it's no, but like right now we're we're in, I wouldn't know what they were. What was our high today? Our high was like 17. We've been in the 20s, which that's like about 60 for you guys.
Mhm.
But overnight it goes down. We go down.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
See
uh,
now what GT is talking about would drop the iguanas out of the the trees and that would be
Oh
really,
boy.
really cold for here. That would be
Yeah.
very cold for here.
yeah.
Because
So
Hello,
we haven't. Go ahead. Go
GT.
ahead, Bob.
Long time since I've talked to you. It's been a while. It's good to see you
Yeah,
again.
it's good to see you, Bob. How you doing?
Mhm. Oh, I'm
Oh, that
going to
looks
make you
good, Bob.
guys envious here in a little bit. My wife brought home some Filipino lumpia and pancit, and I'm going to eat it right in front of you.
Mm.
And I won't feel
Hey,
guilty at all.
You never do when you eat in front of us, Bob. Things
Uh-uh.
that I can't even have. Like, can't have those
Mm.
things.
Yeah,
What is
Kara,
pancetta though? What's pancetta? I don't know what that is actually.
Noodles. Yeah.
Oh, I can
Yeah.
have
Uh-huh.
gluten-free
Mhm.
noodles. They're one of my favorite. I love
Okay.
noodles. I love noodles. But GT,
Okay.
you were asking about that because of just dealing with
I,
non-neurotypical.
I work with a guy, and his response to direct commands was causing aggression.
Yeah.
So I frame the sentence differently,
Mm-hmm.
and he always repeats what I says like it's his suggestion, and it works. And I've
Mhm.
tried to teach the crew that I work with, and
Mm-hmm.
they're so uh, they don't adapt well, I guess, sometimes. And
Yeah.
so they get the aggression, and then they wonder why they're getting it. And I try to tell them, like, you got to frame your sentence differently. If you
Mm-hmm.
want him to do something, maybe you should
Mhm.
frame it in a manner to where it's a suggestion, and you give him, well, maybe can you, maybe this, that, and the third, if you clean your room, maybe this, that, and the third. He'll be like, you
Mm-hmm.
know what, I should clean my room. And it just, with
Good thinking.
him, it works. Now I've
Yeah.
tried different methods with different people because everyone is different, but I'm pretty good at my job when it comes down to
Yeah. I was
conversation.
gonna
So I
say, did you have
I pat
training
myself
in
on the
that,
back.
or it's just from experience?
I've been with the organization that I'm speaking of. I've been with them over 11 years, so they've given me all kinds of not dealing with how to is how to not
Mm.
get into power
Mhm.
struggles and all
Mhm.
these other
Mhm.
classes that
Yeah.
they've given me. I've taken those, and I'm a pretty calm person, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, very patient, so it
Yeah.
works out. But some of those people, the staff, I'm like, I don't see how y'all make it. They make
I
their
think
job so
sometimes too the
hard.
staff is on they're neurodivergent also. So then it's hard for them to grasp it because they're dealing with their own neurodivergence. And yeah, I see that too in the workplace with my husband with when he talks about some of the things that
Oh.
happen. And I'm like, oh, well, you probably should have said it differently, maybe. Like,
Mm.
you might have gotten a better response.
I recall a story from my late cousin. She was a nurse, and before she got out of nursing, she worked at an old soldiers' home, and she knew how to read people just like you do. And there was one old soldier. He was a old Marine, but he'd still punch her lights out. That
Mm-hmm.
happens to nurses sometimes. And
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
she knew how to deal with this guy, because once in a while he'd walk out of the facility and he's going back to Saipan or wherever and he's gone. He's leaving. Well, the men would approach him and he'd get aggressive with them and swing on them. But my cousin would walk up to him as a petite little lady and go, Lyle, I'm so afraid to walk back to the care facility alone. I don't want to be alone. Will you take me? And he'd put his arm through her. Come on, little lady, I'll take care of you.
Brilliant.
and he'd go right back. I said, man, you're brilliant. You can be able to
Mm-hmm.
see, She said, oh, you just got to know how to talk to people. That's all.
Yeah. That actually reminds me of my dad when he was having like his ALZ where they can't differentiate between dream and real.
Yeah.
And they're going through that. And it's like one time he thought you know this story, Bob. He thought he was
Mm-hmm.
holding up the house by that thing that you twist for opening up blinds. He was holding on to that for dear life in the bedroom.
Mm.
And I'm like, Dad, what's going on? And he's like, get out of here. He was telling me and my mom to get out of the house. And I'm like, what's going on? He's like, it's falling. Everything is falling. And I'm like, no. The crew's here. They've got the trucks. I just right on the fly. Not that you can flat out lie to some, people, but when you're in an Alzheimer ward, you got to come up with stuff on the fly. And there are people though that would not go into that world with them. Yeah. And they're like, no, they need to, no, that's not the truth that they're, yeah, of course it's not the truth. They're sick. What's your excuse? Like, just jump in.
It's the truth for them.
And exactly.
So you're going
for them, it's the truth. You're right.
For them, it's the truth. That's right. I like the way you put that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so good at that, Maureen.
Well, I had it with my husband when from the morphine, the high doses of morphine. He
Oh
was
yeah,
having really
hallucinating.
reactions, and but they were, some of them were quite hilarious for me, um, because, and I would go into that world with him, but it was
Mm-hmm.
hard not to laugh, you know. And so
Yeah.
one day he's just sitting on his bed, and I look at him, and he goes, "I'm holding a coup." I said, "You're holding a coup?" "Yes, I'm holding a coup against you." And I said, "Why are you holding a coup against me?" "Because you won't let me go outside and play." And I said, "Okay."
Isn't
And I
that
thought,
something?
so then what I did is I thought, well, let me just see, you know, how far he's gone. And I said, "So, you know," I said, "Do you know what day it is?" He goes, "Yeah, it's my cousin's birthday." And I said, "Tomorrow?" "Well, it's our daughter's birthday." And I said, "And, you know, and who am I?" "Well, you're the love of my life." And I said, "Okay, but you're still holding a coup?" "Mm-hmm."
Wow.
So it was very hard not to, "You're holding a coup because I won't get you play." But I'm just talking to him seriously. And
Mm-hmm.
another night he was getting up out of bed, and he's taking my hand. He says, "We've got to," or, well, yeah, there was one where they were bombing everything. There was bombs going off all around the neighborhood.
Oh.
And so then
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Well, actually, you know what? I think we're okay here because the bombs aren't coming here." But another one that was hilarious for me was he got up, took my hand, and he said, "I've got to go because I have to go poop for the magazine." And I said, "You have to poop for the magazine?" "Yes, I have to go, and I have to go poop for the magazine."
Oh.
Yeah, like, Bob, you're like, it's like, and you have to look at the
How
person
cute.
as
Yeah.
serious
I,
as possible.
yeah.
You okay,
I've been through it.
yeah, and you go, "Well," I said, "Well, what magazine?" And he said, "Well, it's the men's magazine." You know, I said, "I don't know this one." "Of course you don't. It's a men's magazine, and our son has to go." And you know, and I can't remember how I talked him out of it, but just looking at him like, you know, "You have to go, we have to go to the magazine." "Okay, okay." But I think we should probably do something first, and then I could get him back into bed. But
Yeah.
I'll
Oh
tell
my gosh.
one Alzheimer's story. My wife and I took care of my mom until her last breath, and I worked second shift, so 3 to 11, and I was making my mom lunch before I went to work, and she loved this one TV dinner called Whiskey Meat or something. She loved a TV dinner. Okay, so I bring it to her. She's in her recliner watching Jeopardy or Lord only knows, and here you go, Mama. Here you go. Here's some lunch. And she goes, she goes, "Let me see your shiner." "My
Excuse me?
shiner? Mama,
Mama.
yeah." And I'm standing there holding the TV dinner, and she goes, "Let me see your shiner." "My shiner, Mama?" She goes, "Your pecker. Who the hell you been effing?"
That would be horrible if
And
my dad ever went there. Oh my gosh.
it just stunned me that
Yeah,
I put the
course.
TV dinner in front of her. "Mom, it's your favorite, the whiskey beef." "Oh, I like that. This is really good." And then I went in the kitchen and I
Yeah, you have to
fell
walk
out.
out.
I was laughing so hard. I couldn't stop.
I used to have to do that with my mom when she would get into her dementia rages. I would be like, "I'll be
Mhm,
right back." And I'd go in the kitchen for like 5 minutes
mhm.
and just wait
Yeah.
and wait. And then I'd come back in. I'd be like, "Do you want a snack?"
Yeah.
Totally.
Mhm.
Yeah.
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 Been through it.
Yeah. But that was Shawnee. That was really interesting though with what you said with that. So I've got to think about the way I phrase things with, yeah. Okay.
oh,
In
that's
my
good. Yeah,
household.
Shawnee just also said, "I worked with a TBI person who
Yeah, I
always
put
thought
it
they
up.
lost." Oh, okay, I
I'll put
wasn't.
it back up. That's okay
Yeah,
because we didn't get to address it. Yeah.
yeah,
Always thought.
and you just do, you know, you
Mhm.
do things to keep them calm,
Yeah.
and keep them sane.
Yeah.
You know,
And to make them know that you're on their side. Like
absolutely,
we're on your, I'm on your side. I'm
absolutely.
in
Yeah.
your corner. I'm not against you. Because
Mm,
that was what was hard was we didn't realize that mom and dad were both sick at the same time because dad was so severe and mom was kind of just starting to fade.
mm,
And so they would fight. They would go, "Howard." My dad's name was Howard. "Howard, you know better than that." I'm like, "Mom, no, he doesn't. He's got Alzheimer's. He's not kind of." Meanwhile, we didn't know she had it. Like,
right.
So it was like, why are you always yelling at dad when you know he has Alzheimer's?
Mhm.
No,
Some of
just
it.
do the one. Sorry, hold on.
Nope.
So is the
Just the
condition
one for
you're
right now. We'll call him tomorrow. Sorry.
the condition you're describing, Carol, is that similar to Alzheimer's, or what?
No,
what
no,
exactly
no.
is it?
It's neuro, but we're just talking about neurodivergence, like ADHD being on the autism spectrum.
Okay.
What's funny is just like Lark said, is most people are neurodivergent. There's not too many normal people, except you will see the ones like that fall into that classic, like they're great socially, they can go out to these really loud places and do well. They, their relationships are kind of on point. Like I have cousins that, how do I, well, my my two boy cousins basically married friends of their sister. So she got to keep her best friends, and they're like in-laws now. And like they just socially are fine, like out in society. They're very successful because of part of it is that social, but then they also had their mother was a school counselor, their father was a professor. So they knew that you teach children like kind of where they're at, and then you bring them up to your expectation if you can. I think they were harder on them, of course, way harder than my parents were ever on us kids, like way harder. But I saw it with them and I was like, well, what the hell is wrong with me? Oh, why can't I be that successful? I'm not stupid. Like, what the? And it's multi-layered. Like I had parents that were probably on the spectrum. My dad would not look at you when he would talk to you unless you were family. He would look down. He couldn't give you eye contact and talk to you at the same time. Until like if you were his employer, he would make himself.
Oh, okay.
But if we were home and mom was having people over, my dad was always talking to them like they were under the table.
Wow.
He would sit at the table and like look under the table and be like,
Wow.
talk, and not look at them. And my mom had just as many unfinished projects as I do. Like she would start one and leave it, start another. She had quite a few unfinished quilts. She actually paid somebody to finish the one she was making for me, so it would finally get finished. And some other things that made me think, like, yeah, there was definitely some ADHD there. And probably my dyslexia, a little of it came from her, but she had more of a working memory, whereas I don't. I don't have a really good working memory. So if I have to read through something, I have to read through it again and again.
But
and
don't you
again.
have thyroid disease too?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
No, I haven't been diagnosed with that. Mm-mm.
Oof.
Yeah, no, I wonder sometimes if I've got hypo, but yeah, I love this. The that part of ADHD, I love hyper focusing. But then, yeah, getting bored with it. Exactly. I love the first part. Second part.
Do you finish anything, Carol?
Yeah, I do, but I have to force myself. And that was one of
Okay.
the things too, like with cleaning. I heard this lady say to practice anchoring. Now, for me, what I do, the anchoring is I'm going to clean my sink and I can go and do some other things, but I must come back to my sink. That's your anchor. You pick an anchor so that task gets done. You keep anchoring yourself to the sink. Okay, is that done? All right, pick another anchor in the room or maybe making the bed. All right, but my anchor is the bed. And then I can move on after the bed is finished.
Right.
For me, I set a timer. Like if I want to get some cleaning really done, oh shoot, are you kidding me? One got through. I didn't have it on long enough. Just ban somebody.
Mm.
Yeah.
Fun.
I'm starting to wonder if God has this for me. Seriously. The little smokies need to be put away. I don't need to see your little smokies. Go take it to somebody who cares.
It's not your lucky day.
Nope, not your lucky day.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, so yeah, I'll set a timer, and that's how I will get stuff done if I am like feeling unfocused.
Mm.
But with my mom passing away and then all her stuff, that is just a whole nother level that shut me
Mm.
down. Like that's another thing. Neurodivergent people can just go into shutdown. They're not being lazy. It's just everything becomes too much and they just shut down. Like
Mm.
boop. And they might just sit in a spot and you're like, why are you so lazy? They can't get their brain started again because whatever it is that is sending them into shutdown is still existing, whether it's an emotional overwhelm or whatever it might be. Rob, hey Rob, what a time for you to come in. Like you to inflict some pain on some of these,
So somebody with that
weirdos.
condition would be in deep trouble if there's an emergency.
Actually, no. If they have
No?
ADHD, that is the weirdest thing. A lot of ENTs, a lot of paramedics have ADHD. We, under pressure, can handle things better. In fact, we will cause ourselves external pressure like that, like the procrastination.
Mhm.
We will procrastinate until that last second, until that pressure is on us, and then boom, we can get it
11th hour.
done.
Yeah, you get
Yeah, the
everything.
Okay.
11th hour pressure.
Okay.
GT, I
Okay.
see you
Okay.
going.
I get that.
My
Great.
wife, I had to break down and talk to her. I said, baby, look, I can't do this garage by myself. She was
Mhm.
like, why? I said, I can't clean it. She was like, all you gotta do is do this and do that. I was like, have you seen me? I go to the trash can and I get distracted, like I see a little ball or a squirrel. I said, I need your help. So she
Yeah.
stayed in there for 6 hours and helped me clean the garage. I
Aw.
couldn't use my phone and I was okay with that. But
Mhm.
she stayed there. She helped me. She said, wasn't that easy? I was like, yes, but I needed the direction. I
Yeah.
need constant reminders. You have to, no, baby, this right here. And I still would get distracted. So she had to
Mm.
coerce me. Like I just got my LLC to, I'm about to start my own business. And I
Congratulations.
Right on.
yeah, I got
Yeah,
it.
and a lot of us are entrepreneurs too.
Yeah. So 3 weeks ago, I got it. I was happy about it, and I still haven't put the paperwork in. And then her mama asked her, "Oh, GT is on his way to such and such and such and such," and she was like, no." And then when she told me about it, she was like, I was a little embarrassed. I was like, why was you embarrassed? She was like, because you should be. And I was like, no. I said, a characteristic of mine is I'm a procrastinator. I was like, when I get it done, you just let her know, GT, he is a procrastinator. So I'm supposed to be his better half. That's all. And that's what all you got to do, babe, because I can't be nobody but me. I work on it, but some things are out of my control. So
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
when you said these things, I'm really like, oh man, I thought it was just me, but I guess there's a lot of people that that
There's a
have
lot of
these
us. Yeah.
issues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But yeah, a lot of it's some people consider it a superpower because they focus on the good points of it and they've come to a place where they have behavioral modifications in place for themselves, like as they get older, and they might have learned it through therapy if they were diagnosed early. Some of mine, like I remember looking up for Hannah once she got her diagnosis. She was high functioning autistic, but it was PDD-NOS. So it's pervasive developmental disorder not otherwise specified. And it was the pediatric neurologist who said, we'll give her high functioning autism because that way she might get some therapy on your insurance. Might was the key phrase. Because back then they weren't doing speech therapy back then. It changed a couple years after, but back then it was recovery speech if you had a stroke, and that was it. That's all you got. So while I'm researching to help her, I'm reading different things about working memory and dyslexia, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have such a problem with right and left. And then I saw neurodivergents doing the same thing on YouTube. Well, which one is my left? The one that makes the L. And I do that with my left hand sometimes. Still.
Huh.
I will just, and what was even funnier was, and sad, is with true dyslexia, it takes you a minute sometimes as you're learning that this is also not an L, because you see, it's hard for
Because
you to
it's dyslexic.
differentiate.
Yes. Which one is the L?
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
And learning right from left is a sign sometimes, like a long learning period can be a sign of dyslexia. So as I'm reading, I'm like, so that's what the hell was wrong with me in school. Okay. I knew there was some, like, you growing up, there's like just something, and learning about working memory. And I was like, oh, so that's why my mind wouldn't grab it. There's something going on with my working memory and my filing and sorting system in my brain.
Mhm.
Hey, Garrett. And then now they talk a lot about executive functioning. Well, executive functioning is where ADHD, like what GT Jr. was talking about, like just organizing the steps in our brain. Like it takes us, we need to sometimes write them down. Like, okay, I need to clean out this box first. But what we'll do is then we'll misplace the list that we wrote. But to see it visually does help us.
Yeah, don't
Hey,
bother writing
Garrett,
it down,
it's-
Maureen, because you're not going to know where you put that list.
you do that
Mhm.
too, like the Yeah.
Of course. And
And
I convince myself that, oh, you'll remember. You don't need to write that down. You'll remember it.
That's
It's like,
EMT.
I think you need to stop lying to yourself, Maureen. Yeah, you got to quit lying to yourself. You're not
Yeah.
going to remember. But I have thyroid disease, and so that's where I don't.
Oh, okay. Now is yours
yeah,
the hypo?
hypothyroid. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I've been
And
wondering as I've gotten older, if mine is
yeah,
good.
yeah. Those are pretty disco headphones that she's got. Rob Painless says,
Yours too.
pretty rad. Yeah,
Thank you.
they're
Got it.
disco headphones.
I like the kitty ones, but then, I don't want to be like,
People
too.
think you love Hello Kitty.
Yeah, I do love Hello Kitty. I think she's cute. I like a lot of that Hello Kitty stuff, but I'm a 53-year-old woman, so. And that's this tendency too with
There comes the
Bob.
food. Here comes the food.
See, I'm great with spatial reasoning. I am great with that, but getting this room cleaned out as to where to start is the problem.
Mm,
And then to keep going where I started. So you kind of anchor yourself to a point and go, okay, I will clean this corner first.
mm.
And then I will move on to that corner after this corner is done first. And it can be a small corner. Like I'm talking about the corner in the closet, not a corner of the room, because
That's
that is
all you have to do.
yeah,
This
just
little
to do.
tiny shelf in the corner.
That's
That's
right. It could
all.
be a shelf too. You're right. Yeah,
Mhm.
because the shutdown, the emotional part of it, and then just the what the hell do I do with this stuff? Like, how do I get this to my sister? Am I supposed to give this to somebody? Am I supposed to give this away? All that junk in the brain is
Mhm.
wanting me to shut down, is wanting my brain to shut down.
Mm.
And that's the same thing with gardening. Like, people are like, oh yeah, I'm planting this and this and that this year, and I've got the garden all planned out, and I just am like, that's awesome. I know, like I told you that night, Maureen, like mustard and French marigolds I've got so far. And yeah, I took out some seeds yesterday and completely forgot what I took out. So I keep them near my chair. And then suddenly my chair has like stacks of my seeds.
This is the seed chair,
This is
and I'm going to
seed.
get them out eventually.
It's going to go out there.
Yeah,
But also,
for me,
go ahead.
and like not that it's my memory, but like I have I'm not a super clean freak, but I have to
Mhm.
have things have to go back to where they were, or I'll never find them. Because like wherever I
Mhm.
was, if I dropped it down, it's like I will not remember where the pruners are. I will not, know where stuff is. So it's like, 15 minutes before we're going to leave the yard and come in, it's like everything's got to go and be put back
Mm.
into their places so that I can find it, because it's one of the things that I hate the most. It's like I'm
Mhm.
going to look for this certain pruner. I'm going to go look for
Yeah.
this rake or something, and it's not there because I didn't put it back. And then it's like, and then I lose my mind because it's
Yeah.
like, where did you? Because who knows where I dropped it? Could be anywhere. There's stuff in my, in my bathroom, in my bedroom. It's like, oh, there's the pruners. You left them in the bathroom.
Yeah, isn't that weird too? I've done that. Things
Well,
like
because
that.
they're in my pocket. So when I'm going to use the
Yeah.
loo, I take them out and I put them down, and then I da, 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 and it's like, where did I see the pruners last? And then I'll start looking in all the places, but I won't
Mhm.
think they were in your loo. That's where you left them. It's like, oh, we got twist
Everybody needs
ties.
pruners in the loo. Of course, that's exactly where I would think to look.
Mm-hmm.
Thing with where words and letters move on the page. Wow. Yeah. And dyscalculia. We have the dyscalculia. I can't even say it. Yeah, we have some of that. But some of the dyscalculia is the working memory and not being able to remember all the processes. Like
Mm.
once you get into certain parts of math, there's a lot of processes that you have to take, like a lot of steps. I mean, there's a process and there's steps. That's why algebra sucked. Too many steps. But geometry I liked because it was visual. It was not
Right.
abstract with tons of steps to remember. Geometry made sense because I was looking at a shape and I was trying to kind of solve a problem. We like research. We like to solve problems. Um, we love research. Like we don't understand people who don't research. We
Mm.
just we like research a lot. Neurodivergent people.
Mm. Cool.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure I'm on the spectrum somewhere from the things I hear.
Oh, we could have told you that.
Yeah.
You
Even
didn't
your
have.
yeah.
We'll just say yes. Was an intervention just to let you know about that, Robert. So yeah, you are.
Good for you, Larks. Poor Larks. Her significant other
Ooh.
discovered that their freezer was cracked a little bit. And now she's left to can all that stuff that's in the freezer for all her meats and such. She said they didn't fully
Ooh.
defrost, so it was
So there's a chance.
yeah, so there's still a chance.
Wow. See, I think I came into that conversation where Larks was saying, "Okay, I'm doing this," and I'm like, "Yay, that's great!" But I didn't know you're doing it because there is a crisis.
Yeah, right.
But still,
I want I
great.
I gotta learn how to do my pressure canner and not be afraid of it because goodness knows those things happen and I need to
Mhm,
be able to do,
mhm.
the same
Power
thing.
outage and stuff.
That
Um, what kind of pressure canner do you have? Do you know the brand?
Presto. I have a
Presto.
Presto, but my problem's been because I have a flat, older stove. I don't know, and I haven't looked it up, like, because I haven't, because procrastination. Um, but I have that ceramic top.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've got a glass top, but I have a all American, and I
You
think
can
somebody.
use on there.
Yeah, I do use my all American on my glass cooktop, but my glass cooktop is a Jenner.
Okay, mine's a Kenmore and like an older Kenmore, and they're usually workhorses. Like,
I think if you've got something that's older, I chances are it's probably gonna be just
okay,
fine. I think
yeah,
if you're getting something in this day and age, it's like it's only meant to last for 2 years. So put a canner on it and it's like
That's a fact. That is a fact. Yeah.
oops,
Mhm.
that's I meant to
Mhm.
cooking 10 pounds of
I'm going
bacon
to
tomorrow.
Lark's tomorrow because
Me
I would like
too.
to have some bacon.
That will be like in everything that smell. 10 pounds. Yeah.
Uh,
The whole house will smell like bacon. You'll smell like bacon. Your hair will smell like bacon. I was
you're
laid on
still
things.
paying off my line dancing lessons. Uh,
Oh
Don't break my heart, my achy breaky heart.
my gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. I pressed glass top, but my glass top has a oh no, it has a crack. Yeah, you have that cool electric presto canner. I do have a pressure cooker canner thing that I could use, but it's only like you can get 3 jars, like with really small batch. It would be for a very, very small batch, which is fine. I mean, my husband and I are the ones who eat most of the different proteins. That's another thing. Food sensory issues for some of the kids and adults, like my husband, you can't make mushrooms or peppers. He won't eat sauteed vegetables unless you chop them real small and put them in like with rice. Like if I make a rice meal, I can get away with it.
Right.
But the texture of that is a no-go. The smell of any peppers cooking or mushrooms. And sometimes it can be perceived. He'll come in and he'll be like, "Were you making mushrooms?" Like,
Nope.
no, but obviously you're going to struggle with dinner tonight if that's what you're smelling.
Mhm.
Obviously you're going to want to eat popcorn or have something else.
All right. Well, Lark said that her stovetop's got a crack because her or no.
Oh, wait, I
that's-
missed it. Hold on. There we go.
There it is.
That's cracked because it's not. Why?
Vidalia chopper.
Oh,
So it's
so
so
sorry.
so
So
it
it
was
wasn't. Okay.
due to the canner.
That was cute. This was too cute. Bacon? Bacon, where do we go? Where do we go for the bacon? I
Don't you
must
guys
know.
live in the same state? Can't you just
Yeah.
I don't know how big the state is. But
Hey, Sean. Welcome. I know. Aren't we all up too late?
Yeah.
Not
Woke
GT
up
Well,
and
there.
not.
I.
That's right. That's right. Not you guys, because you're
GT and
not the
I,
West Coasters.
It's 9:00 here. It's 8:00 at his place, so we're
It's
good.
actually not too bad for us. We usually can rock it till like 3 a.m. sometimes. So it's
know,
only
yeah, I
12
know.
here. Let's see. I'm not sure. I cooked
Yeah.
it one time. Maybe it was for me. But if it's shown, I'll watch. The things that we will watch. I get hooked up on those little prairie dogs now. They just bring me joy to see them. Yahoo! Woohoo! They say when they're happy. Cutest things. Except for when they bite, then they're not so cute.
Oh yeah, and I saw that Storms had a possum outside his back door tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised that he didn't just save it and say, "Hey, I'm gonna get someone to send it to you, Maureen," because they're always wanting to send me possums and stink bugs and cats. They want to send me cats. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be an interesting like shout out. Oh, I've got a
Right.
package
Oh,
of
look at
Storms.
it's a possum. Isn't it cute?
It's a possum or it's a cat. Watching the eclipse tomorrow. Oh no. Oh, that's
West Texas.
wild. I'll have to look up. And we usually get clouds during a lot of the eclipses. Oh, I have to do that, but I'm trying to let it hold off until hopefully it won't be just like totally ruined because I've had it in my freezer. I forget how many months now.
Do you have a
Just
pressure?
a turkey, just turkey breasts. I could use the pressure cooker. I bet it would just fall apart. It would be good. Be very moist.
Yep. Yeah, my son-in-law was
Oh,
talking about that where he
yeah, this is.
cooks a whole chicken in the Instant Pot,
Mhm.
and then takes it out, throws it into the oven for, I don't know, about 10 minutes, crisps it up. He goes, "It's the best way to cook chicken because you can cook it fast in the Instant Pot and then just do a quick browning in the oven. Delicious."
Yeah.
He said everything stays moist and you get the nice crispiness on the skin. And
That sounds really good.
I haven't had it, but he said it was delish.
I'll tell him, hey, you can't keep advertising without,
Yeah. Your
sending some to
mother-in-law would
mom.
like to try that. Yeah. Well, he does. He is a really great cook, and will come over here, would you like to taste this? And I'm always like, yeah, I just ate a full dinner, but yes, you're cooking some. I will
I think
taste it.
so, Larks. I've seen another homesteader do it. I can't think of what her name is right now.
Is it any different than doing chicken?
If you're cutting it all off the bone and stuff, I don't think so. I think it's pretty much like, but I actually saw somebody, I think they even included the bone.
Yeah,
Which was-
when I do chicken, I raw pack my chicken, bone, everything in.
You
Yep.
see, now we need, is that on your channel? Do you have video of you raw packing your chicken?
I don't know if we did
Oh.
do the chicken.
For
If
the
we ever
colder
did.
months, we need to see that, Maureen. We
Yeah.
need to see-
Yeah.
But then again, you never know with YT what they're gonna hit you on.
What they'll allow in that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we got some fresh wild salmon and picked up some stewing hens and canned it all up. So it's all in my larder.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I would like to
I'd
do
have to
that.
say, I know there's the FDA approved and blah, blah, blah. But you have to stop and go, okay. So our great grandmothers who were doing canning and they would boil it for 3 hours in the canner.
Yeah.
They did all of it.
Do it
Yeah,
too.
they do it
Yep.
all. So then that just tells you right there, yes, you can.
Hey, sweetheart.
So I did miss this one.
I that's what I was thinking. If I'm still too scared of my pressure canner, I can always do the Amish way
Mm-hmm.
and just
Yeah.
give it more time in the, other
Yeah.
canner.
Yeah. Well, I do love, I love my All-American one, just because it's these toggles. I don't know what you call them, but so I do these clampings. So
With clamping, wait, say that again.
for the lid, like it's the fact that
Mhm.
I've got 6 screws, bolts. So I bolt
Mhm.
the top of my canner. So I'm not concerned about it ever blowing up. And I think we've only, in the 2 years we've had it, I think only 3 jars cracked, but that could be a flaw in the jar.
Yeah,
you
I've
know,
heard that too.
cracked
That
inside.
you're not supposed to use utensils in the jars because just even that accidental like scraping of a
Yeah.
fork against the inside of a jar can cause it to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's weird because I don't know if it's Australia who talked about it. They don't do pressure canning because they consider the pressure canners more dangerous, and so they water bath. I think it's Australia. It's like one of the European countries that I was like, what?
Yeah.
They're
Well,
more
many
afraid.
European countries, they don't even have pressure canners.
Yeah.
Again, they do it old school on, outside with wood in a big canner. They're not all these fancy lids and stuff like that. Put a towel in the bottom of it, throw your water in, and then it's usually about you have to do it for 3 hours to
Rolling
get
boil.
it to
Yeah.
seal. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and they're in the middle of nowhere, and you go, and if there is refrigeration, who knows? And and they're like, there's channels, and it's just beautiful to watch, and they're doing the whole chicken, getting it all in there, putting all the and it's because like I have the 1.5 gallon jars, and they go, oh, there's nothing FDA approved about doing the 1 gallon jars, and you go, those women are putting a whole chicken, 8 potatoes, the carrots, the onions, and they're doing it, and you just go,
Wow. I want to see that. I want to see that. The whole chicken thing. That's amazing. Well, I know I have my grandfather's old pickle, what they put pickles in, and it was just, I think I'm going to burp. Excuse me, coming. I hate that feeling where it's like right here. It's in stoneware. They used to just use stoneware.
A crock.
They would make, a crock. They weren't.
Yeah, but that's full on, you're putting a lot of vinegar into that. So then that's what's going to kill anything.
But I mean, like, people would still be like, oh, no. That's got to go in the refrigerator. It was in their, maybe their basement, because the basement was very cold. Could have been 40 degrees like a fridge. Canada is America. Yeah, North America. That's right, North America. We've adopted her.
I do have I have American, my American passaporta. I have an American passaporta, so if I go to the States, I can, except for I'm not speaking properly, but yeah, I can I can come down there. There's no hassles. It's just
Oh,
that when
I
I come
lost
back,
my
they can be a little nasty to me.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm not gonna say a word, but meanwhile, we are giving money away for people just coming in as a person. She said, "I'm thinking." Yeah, my son can do that. He can burp the alphabet, that tiny little body, if he wanted to. We were floored, but I'm trying to get it all GF and stuff. Fermenting vegetables. Let me see.
That was part of a test for
Yes.
Boeing's senior management.
Really?
You have to be able to burp your name.
Oh, you have to.
Yeah.
I thought you meant it came across your phone just now. I'm such a dork. I think it is some kind of test for
I'm
a
so
lot of
happy
guys.
to work for Boeing, and I'm so happy to work for Boeing, and I'm glad you're my supervisor. You can burp your name.
Oh.
Wow. How'd you get promoted?
Have fun, Sean. He's going to Scrub Fest. That's where David the Good is going to be. Yeah, Bob, I've seen that. Seemed like guys that I went to high school with also put that up there as like, I got to meet that expectation of being a man and burp the whole alphabet.
So Kara, I just
The whole
sent
alphabet.
you.
Now that's talent. That is talent.
In messages on Facebook. So it's beef cooked in a glass jar. Cook the meat in the fall, and I will eat in the winter. Now there is a teepee of just sticks, and the big hunk of meat is hanging from that out in the open, and he's just got he's got a wicked sharp knife. Wow. And he's just cutting the pieces out there in the open. Like when I've done when I was learning how to dress chickens, I didn't know what to expect. I just was going to their place, and they had a makeshift table outside. They had the great big plastic crates, and they're just filled with water and big buckets or 5-gallon buckets of ice cubes that they've frozen, and then they drop it in there. And we'd go pick up the chicken from the thing, process it, and then bring it over, and it'd go through the plucker, the scalder, the plucker, and then we're just cutting it out in the open there, and it's like no stainless steel, no, like it's like area, quarantined off. And it was like, this is awesome. Like, it's great to see. Here is a normal process. You don't have to have the state-of-the-art stainless steel, everything, completely, sterilized or whatever, right? And so, and
it's just like the wet markets overseas. They just, just like that. They're right out in the open. You got to take a garden hose and hose the wood chopping block down and chop up your fish and your chicken and whatever else, weigh it and put it in a plastic bag and sold, just right out in the open. Yeah.
Oh, he's been cutting up the meat, but now he's got plastic gloves on as he's moving it over onto another piece.
See, I'd have to wear gloves. Like, I saw somebody else do that, and they showed it. It was when I was watching the neurotypical versus, neurodivergent. The neurodivergent gave me a great idea because she was like, doesn't like to handle raw food. Yeah. I very much am like a hand washer extraordinaire. Like, my sister used to make fun of me when it came to just raw meat. Like, I get paranoid.
Yeah.
And it's funny because after COVID, she's like, "Oh, now I know what you mean, why you wash your hands so much." And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to get one of those things that's on the raw meat and get a stomach bug. But anyway, this neurodivergent girl took out a bunch of chicken breasts at once, put on her gloves, and has like her hair back and everything, and just put them, rinsed them off, put them in their pots, patted them, just shoved them all in the oven, no seasoning. This is what was crazy. Shredded them, and then refroze the section, like in sections for a meal. Like, she weighed it for her family, like that's for a meal, bagged it, rolled it up. I don't know if she dated them or not, but that was, she said, like, for her week, if she was going to use any chicken, it was already done all at once, and I don't have to keep touching it every time I want to make chicken. I just do it in a batch that way, and then I can grab the cooked chicken, throw it in.
Right.
I was like, why have I never thought to do that with chicken? Like, that's actually a great idea to have chicken just ready to go for just, a couple weeks in the freezer. Because people go out and do that. They buy it that way,
Yeah.
like the pre-shredded cooked chicken, and
Yeah.
that somebody else has done. I was like,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. I like
Yeah.
that.
Have your
I like
own. Have your own. Well, that's kind of why I
Yeah.
like the canning, because it is like fast food, right?
Mhm.
And and it's like I can do up a batch. Like my family loves this Mexican pulled chicken, is what it's called, and
Mm.
super easy to do. Of course, it has dairy in it and corn, but basically, and I'll make it in a slow cooker. So I take my frozen chicken breasts, put 4 of them into the slow cooker, and then put in 2 cans of Almer's chili tomatoes. It's not spicy, but it's the right flavor. Throw those in. It says to put
Mhm.
a corn, but it's like, are you kidding? Like, put in a whole, can of corn,
Yeah. Yeah.
2 cans of beans, and I think a little bit of water, and then leave it alone. And like, it's got
Okay.
everything it needs. Once it's done,
You.
when it's done, you take your chicken breasts out, shred them,
Mhm.
and throw in half a brick of cream cheese into it,
Ooh.
and stir that into it, and then throw your chicken back
Yummy.
in.
Yeah.
And then while you're shredding the chicken, you throw your rice on, right? So it's this meal that's been
Yum.
cooking itself all day, and so you're just spending the last few minutes. And so I went, okay, we all love that, so I'm going to put that together in a raw form, and put it in a canning jars and can it up. And
Oh.
so then I have this all ready to go. Of course, I don't have the cream cheese in it. I just
Okay.
wait.
That's
I
gonna
wait, like,
ask.
once we open it up, then we put the cream cheese in
Mhm.
and make the rice, and you go, there. Bob's your uncle,
Mhm.
except for Bob's right there.
Makes sense.
Mhm.
Bob's your uncle.
I'm right here.
There he
That's
is.
right.
That's awesome, Sean Meckham. I'm so glad that you got to become friends with David. That's
Oh,
awesome.
fun.
I would love to go up and see him at the Scrub Fest. It's in my state, but it's like 7 hours or more from me because the state of Florida is just so long. It's kind of too far for right now.
Mhm.
We would need a hotel, so then there's the expense of the hotel and the gas, and we just can't do it right now. But that's awesome for you, Sean. I'm really happy for you. What was I gonna say? Bob, does your wife can at all or no? Did she learn any of that
No.
from being in the States?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I was just wondering.
No. Where she grew up, they don't do that.
Do they
They just
do
don't.
any of the
No.
freezing of the meals since they are often taking
No.
care of one another? Wow.
No.
So everything is fresh made.
Well, usually over there where she grew up, one woman will stay at home and take care of the whole
Okay.
family while everyone else is out at work and school. Like Langing, my late sister-in-law, that was her duty in the family.
Okay.
She prepared all the food, all that. Everything's prepared fresh. Nothing's
Yeah.
canned. That's it.
Mad respect. Like that they recognize that
Mhm.
as a needed thing, that one person in the family to stay and
Oh,
fortify everybody
absolutely.
with good food
Yeah. Yeah.
and take care of the family's
It was
needs.
like Langing took care of the family. My wife was the smart one, so she went and got a higher education, and she brought in
Oops.
the money, et cetera, et cetera. Those were the 2 oldest daughters of the family.
Mhm.
That's just how it is
Yeah.
there.
I love that. Oh, is
Yeah.
this the egg roll in a bowl, Shawnee? What is it? Egg roll. I want to make egg roll filling like carrots, onions, cabbage, vinegar.
Yeah, and add a little bit to that too, is that my
Sounds really good.
father-in-law was the man who
Oops.
protected the home. You have to have a
Right.
man sitting outside of the building at all times
Yeah.
to guard
And
the
we
home.
might get to that place too with the
No.
way things are going. We might.
Oh yeah.
And that's what they want. They want
Mm-hmm.
us all leveled out, every country, the,
Mm-hmm.
world, whatever forum people. The Build Your Burger group.
Build your burger.
Build the bear. I've never done
Yeah,
the
the Build-A-Bear group. Yes, the Build-A-Bear. That's them.
Yeah, no, I'm always going, okay, I'm gonna move to another country. Nope. No.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
Can I have a new planet, please? Can we have
Yeah.
another planet to? Because I'm kind of
I
tired.
start looking at islands. I'm like, have they gotten to that one? Is that one? Okay?
of
I mean, yeah. But then I'm like, wait, it's an island. You won't be able to get stuff as
Mhm.
easily. You'll have to make sure they have everything on the island so you can survive. Yeah. I've thought that way too.
I like
Maureen.
where I'm going. I love it there.
Yeah. And you have
And
family there though.
It's a
Like
poor country, and nobody thinks
yeah.
about it.
Yep.
Full of warring Muslim clans and communist wars and all that stuff, and no
Oh.
one from the higher, richer billionaires even think about it. Oh, that place now. There's no money
Except
there. We're not going to go mess with
it's a
them.
country rich in resources and gold. That's the thing. Any of these countries that you see that are poor, like something like Zimbabwe and what was another one? They're oppressed and they're kept poor. They're kept in that way because the resources that are in the land and in ground are so rich, and it's like they've got the gold, they've got all that stuff, but
yeah.
no ways of getting it out or whatever. And and you owe this debt, so then all you're doing is paying whatever debt to whatever other country and keeping the oppression down.
Well, I mean, even with us, we have plenty of resources here we could tap into. Just like what the T-Man was doing was basically, let's tap in here. Let's build our country back up to the superpower it used to be. And let's make better business deals with all these other places. Like, why are we giving them money to them when we're also giving this? And what?
Yeah, imagine a businessman running a government that's based on business. Who would? No. I miss that guy. He was not a politician, but he was a boss with big balls. That's why I miss him. He was a boss.
What I love is that
that's one thing.
Up here, we would,
Duncan,
because we've got so much. The trees. We've got a lot of trees, so we would chop them down, and then we would ship them to the U.S. And so it would be like, can't remember how. I'll just throw out some numbers. So we would make, like, let's say just $5 a tree. We'll just say it that $5 a tree. So we send them down. You guys process them. Now when they come back, now we pay $10.
Yeah,
per.
Isn't that crazy?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Don't we have our own machine? Like,
why are we paying $15 a tree? I don't
when they came out of here.
Yeah.
Now, can you imagine how much they charge the Koreans and the Japanese for that same wood? Can you imagine?
Water. Yeah. We ship water down and then we buy it back. And you're like, why are we getting what? We have
somebody's skimming money off of all that. Someone's skimming money off of all those transactions.
Oil, but it's like, no, we can't process our own oil here. No.
Oh,
like, Canada is rich in every resource that you can imagine. But yet you go, but we have to take it from everybody else. And it's like, how about we just use our own? How about we just become independent of within ourselves? Oh, because we've got twinkle socks. That's why.
Yeah. We have that same
running the country.
No, I thought it was sparkle socks. I thought it was sparkle socks.
Right, sorry, not twinkle.
Sparkle
socks.
Well,
it could be twinkle socks. So yeah, sparkle socks is the one that's making all the decisions.
Yeah, Fidel's son. Fidel's love child.
Oh, what did they do? Amazing. Nice.
Good for them. But then something will kick off there.
Right on.
Most likely.
Yeah.
The CBs, the CBs will not allow that.
Yep.
They're the ones who took out Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll send in a bunch of mercenaries and start up a bunch of killing each other. Yeah.
You want some? What are you offering down there, Kentucky? You want some?
I've got some Zimbabwe currency.
Do you? That's cool. I like all that kind of different currency. That was one thing I found with my parents, like different pamphlets from when they traveled. IBM used to be like amazing. to their engineers. And everybody, it was like, my dad learned engineering working for them, but he didn't have a degree. A lot of them were just called engineers. And they sent them on a trip to like Paris and Amsterdam. And
Mm.
my dad wasn't even in management. He was just on a certain project. So they got to go to Paris and Amsterdam. But anyway, finding like some of the pamphlets, and then mom had a little change purse still with some of the coins.
Oh,
And I was
neat.
like, see, that's what's so hard is it's like, okay, well, that I definitely want to keep. But then my mom was like a photo hoarder of the family because she just loved her family. But it's a lot of photos to deal with. And it's really hard to go through photos when you're grieving. So yeah, that's where I struggle. It's like, okay, how many photos do I keep? Do I send those photos to, sisters who wanted to cut me out of the whole thing? What do I do with all this stuff?
Mhm.
Just send
But-
them.
Yeah.
Shawnee, to answer your question, he will be hanging out till 2025.
And he
it was like,
probably
I don't,
won't be done. And he probably won't be
you go,
done.
I don't actually know when, because it was like, because then he, in the middle of the debacle, he decided to call a re-election. And but I think
Of course.
2025, in my, like, just my own the world according to Maureen, I think something big is in 2025 because there's a lot of stuff that seems to stop at
Mhm.
2025.
Well,
You know,
they just moved up the date. It's not in 2030 when all things are going to hell, but really great for, the upper crust.
Mm.
They moved it up to 2025.
Okay, I didn't know that. But
Yeah.
no, it just seems that things are, oh, we can't do that because in my area here,
Wow.
a developer came in and go, we want all these houses. And you go, like, I've got this quarter of an acre. The other people around me, they're a little bit bigger. And like, we're kind of that mid-class suburbia, the houses in here are definitely over $1 million. And not that it's worth that, but that's
Yeah.
what the
No,
price
it's like
would-
California. Like I go to California,
Mhm.
my house would be worth $1 million there in California in their market.
Yeah.
I get you.
And so, they were coming around and talking to us, and it's like, hey, we'd like to buy your home. And it's like, well, I actually have a house, I have a 3,000 square foot house, and then I have a 400 square foot auxiliary building. And for me, and what they were
Wow.
offering me was, it's like, so I go out with this little pittance that you give me to go and try to replace what I have. Like, yeah, no,
There's
no.
no way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I just, they said, yeah, we can orphan you. But the thing was, is that this deal was going on. They're all,
Mhm.
everybody's wanting to
Mm.
sign off. And some people, I've only had this house for 12 years. So I still have, what would be considered a fairly low mortgage on it. But, the thing is that my one neighbors, they said, yeah, we're going to go through with it. Then they said, yeah, we're not ready to start this till 2025, but let's sign the papers. And it was like, I keep hearing people go, okay, yeah, we're going to do that. But, let's do it in 2025. You look at my credit cards, you go, they're all due in 2025. Like, I'll have to have replacements in 2025. And so I just keep saying
Mhm.
that. So that was what made the world of Maureen go, something's
Kicking
coming up
off.
in 25
Yeah.
not the 30,
Yeah.
where we'll all be happy and we'll own nothing.
Exactly.
That's right.
right.
My God, Karl Marx.
What did you say, GT? There was words, there was mouthing, but no sound came out because you're muted.
Mm.
Go up
You're not adding, you just said, gee.
Karl Marx, show me the way.
Yeah, right.
Mm.
That was like the picture of the kids from
Mhm.
Starbucks that I'm like, would somebody please tell them that they're communists and that hand is not for black power. That hand is for communism. The sickle and
Communism,
the hammer
that's
are
correct.
just missing.
Mhm.
They replaced it with a drink shaker.
Mhm.
Still communism, guys.
Mhm.
Like, and it's not a better deal. That's why a lot of people don't want it. But they're ready for it. They'll be ready for it because they're taking, like, my daughter can't go out there and just get an apartment down here.
No.
She would need what she makes down here to get an apartment in another state just by
Right.
herself. Like,
Right.
it's really, really sad to see what they're doing with generation like Z or whatever. Yeah, Z.
Yeah. But you got places like I think it's in Quebec. I think it's in Quebec where, there's nothing, or maybe it was actually in France, but it might be Quebec here. Where you can't, there's the prices of homes are just way too high, but you
Mm-hmm.
can grandfather your children's children all into this home, and so then it's your family home forever and ever because you won't sell it or whatever. But one
Yeah.
thing through all this that I'm super happy about is that we're all stepping back and going, remember what our great
Yeah.
grandparents did. Remember how they lived, how they
Yeah.
provided for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and and then the wealth of
Mhm.
knowledge. Just us here, like way back when you were out in the middle of nowhere,
Mm-hmm.
and you couldn't, like, for someone like myself who didn't, I grew up in a city. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know how to start a fire with nothing. I don't know how to you'll rent everything and be miserable. Amen.
Yeah.
Um
Especially at their
and
prices.
yeah, so
Rent
then
everything.
what I'm loving is that the stuff that I've learned, it's like you
That
give me some
interesting.
flour, some salt, and some water. Well,
Yeah.
I can make you a sourdough starter. And that sourdough starter, it
Mm-hmm.
actually I dehydrated it and it's now, down at Q's place. I just sent her some.
I
And
love that. That was neat.
so then the fact that you have these, it's like the tools that I'm learning. And
Mm-hmm.
even if everything doesn't go to pot, I'm not going like, hey, let's be positive or whatever. But it's like, even if
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't, these are skills that we're at the generation that I'm at right now. All
Mm-hmm.
of this was lost because my great grandmother, she
Yeah.
had her own chickens and she would can them up without a pressure canner, and could provide. And so then my grandmother, she did the pickles, pickles, some fruits and jams. Same with my mother. And so it was like, this is an art that is going by the wayside. What is he saying?
She's her friends losing her farm because they raised the
Oh,
taxes so high. That's happening here with insurance, Duncan. They are leaving. The insurance companies are leaving, or the payments are so high because of our hurricane status and all the
right.
risk. But they're trying to get people to move to the state one, and the state is not much better. So people are losing their homes because of just having to have this insurance. Yeah. So I'm sorry. But yes, I agree with you. Like, my parents, my mom and my dad bought into the commercialism. They lived on the farm as children. But when that whole commercialism and going and get into the city and get a house and get a job, and um, they bought full bore into that lifestyle that was being projected onto the TV and the movies. And I do wish they didn't lose what they learned on the farm, because they did. They lost a lot of it. My dad did garden. He was a great gardener in Virginia because it was more like New York.
Mm-hmm.
We moved it to California. He started to it was his third year, and he put in fruit trees. He was learning about California and their climate. He had just put in a ton of fruit trees, and we moved, and was growing strawberries. He's like, okay, these do good here. But he didn't have a vegetable garden like he usually has. We moved here, and yeah, that was lost because he was like, he did try bananas. I found the pictures that he tried bananas.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's amazing how different the sandy soil is from just
Right.
here where I'm at to where my parents were.
Right.
And they're all like that. Boca is not that far from me. And then same thing, you go further down, there's even more sand in their soil in Broward. But you go out west and maybe not so sandy. You might have soil even though that's towards the Everglades. It's very crazy what you're working with down here as far as your soil. You really have to put a lot of compost and, materials into this soil that will break down, but they break down quick and then they're gone. And the same thing with organic fertilizers. They just rinse right through.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
that's specified B. Long time no see.
that's where, it's like growing the things that, like, you've got the bananas and you got mangoes, right? In your yard, right? It's mangoes that you also grow?
I have a small mango tree. I don't have them
Right.
in growing yet, but yeah, I've
Okay.
got a mango
Yeah,
tree.
and so it's like we look at what things are and try to grow things that are for your area and your climate, and
Yeah.
trying to do the best that you can to keep the soil erosion. But what I
Mhm.
love is that, like I said, this is the stuff from the past that are, it's an art that's not being
Mhm.
passed down. I love
Yeah,
this too. They would fix what was wrong. They would just come in and they go, that's it. Not doing that. Nope.
that's
Nope.
right. They sure
And
would.
but I love that I'm learning
Mhm.
this, and
That's a fact. Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
passing it on to my 5 children. So
Yeah.
they are learning all of what I'm learning as well. Yeah, I got 5 kidults. And so yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
God bless you.
I just want to have I wanted a lot of babies. I wanted a big family. And so that's the beautiful thing, is that all the skills that I'm learning right now, and from you guys, like, I'm learning stuff about what works, what doesn't, then I'm passing that on. So what I love
Yeah.
about this type of community is that we
Mhm.
go, okay, here's what's working, here's what's not working. And it
Yeah.
might be, yeah, it might not work in my climate, or it might work here, or it might work there, but it's just like, I love that I've learned so much
Mhm.
just from watching your guys' YouTubes. I learned something new. I learned how to, okay, I don't need to have matches to start a fire. It's like, oh, I can make a small rocket stove if I need to cook outside because I have
Mhm.
no electricity.
Yep.
It's like, I love all this
Yep.
skill set it was on the verge of being taken, like, completely gone.
Yeah.
My kids wouldn't have done any canning whatsoever.
True.
Mhm.
And it's like my
Yeah.
daughter and my son-in-law, they live in the apartment attached to my house here, and they've got a tiny, tiny kitchen. They were canning up last year a storm of stuff. So it was like the peaches. And I said to my daughter, I said, you could come over to the big house and the big kitchen. She says, no, it's so perfect on just the small, tight space that we have. We've got the canner, we've got this. And it's like we just move from thing to
Like
thing to thing to thing.
assembly line. Yeah, they figured it out. They didn't
Yeah.
wanna.
But it was like,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how my mother did it. Mhm.
and
That's how
so
my mother did it.
it's
Yep.
it's brilliant. So I'm
Mhm.
excited to go, okay, I know how to make sourdough bread. Couldn't make sourdough bread if my life depended on it, you know,
Before.
3
Yeah,
years ago,
before. Mhm.
and now that I've got, like, I've got my pizza oven, well, I have a cook source,
Yep.
and, and it's easy to find wood around my yard to get it up
Mhm.
and going, and it's like I've learned how to make cheese
Mhm.
from raw milk and that whole process as well. So it's I love that, um,
True. True, B.
and so it's like what I love the most is that we've learned so much from hanging out with one another, and we
Mm.
are reviving what could have been completely lost.
Yeah.
So
These
true.
natural,
Very
healthy,
true.
survival,
Mhm.
skills. And then also
Mhm.
what you're eating is good food, you know.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
go I'm shocked when I go to Costco, and like it's weird because you go, the prices are going up, prices are going up. They have these massive cantaloupe, and they're
Mhm.
$4.99. And you go, that's pretty cheap. But when you look at them from a distance, you go, it almost looks plastic,
Yeah, it's too
because
perfect.
every strip is
Yep.
so perfect on it. And you go, so how has that seed been modified? You know?
Exactly.
And so it's like I grew cantaloupe
Mm.
for the first
Mm.
time this year, beautiful
Mhm.
cantaloupe, and they're not big, but I'm pulling all those seeds because it's like
Yeah.
these are marine seeds, and I'll just keep collecting my seeds, and I can go, here, Carol, here, GT, here,
Yeah.
Bob, here are some cantaloupe seeds to grow,
Mhm.
and it's like we are, there's this murmur of people where we are connected to one
Yeah.
another at this point, with
Mhm.
technology,
And
but it's like,
reconnecting to creation, like we were given that
yeah,
domain. We were
yeah,
told to
yeah,
be, that is our domain. The
Mhm.
garden is our domain. That was one of our first responsibilities, was to take care of God's garden.
yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I
Is it
totally agree.
tiring? Yes. Is it, overwhelming? Yes. But
Mhm.
I'm super stoked about, the amount of weight that I've grown on my little
Oh,
critter.
you've done incredible.
Thank you. Thanks.
Wow. Yeah,
And
I'm
and
so
so
amazed with you. I really am. I mean, like,
me too,
seriously.
because 4 years ago, I was just singing shooba-dooba-doo-ba-boo-da-boo-ba-doo-doo-da. And it was like,
Mhm.
and I had, the really fancy diva nails, and that's all
Shoopy
I would
doopy
do.
doop. Look at the cantaloupe. I just pulled out of the garden.
Exactly.
You can make it like a
Mhm.
Yeah.
going back
No.
to the garden act next.
Exactly. Yeah. Shuffle off.
Yeah, I see.
What, Bob?
When I go
Oh.
overseas, I see firsthand how when I go overseas, I see firsthand how their food is not controlled by large
Mhm.
corporations.
Yeah.
It's not. These trucks, they have laborers who go and pick all the fruit, the
Mhm.
food, vegetables, whatever, load up a whole truck full of it, drive it into the city, and then sell it to the wet markets. None of it's frozen.
Hey!
None of it's
Yeah.
stored anywhere. None of it is imported
Yeah.
from another country.
Correct.
It's all locally grown. It's fresh.
That's
It's
awesome.
That's why, like, when I see them processing fish or
Mhm.
chicken or pork, it came off the farm that morning,
Yeah.
and they cut it up out in the open and all that. And people think, oh my God, it's not covered in plastic. It's dirty.
Aw.
No, it's not. It's fresh. It's fresh.
Okay, Larks, totally
You
understand.
know, you understand what I mean? Because
Yeah.
food is stuck in the back of a refrigerator truck from
Absolutely,
Mexico
Duncan.
all the way up to Canada. That's risky stuff there. That's how people get sick when
Yeah.
it comes from outside the city into the city,
Yep.
and it's handled by the farmer
Yep.
and the butcher.
Mhm.
Yeah, when there's too many
You're
hands
good.
upon it. Yeah.
You know,
And you don't know what they're
bingo.
carrying
Yeah,
that are
Mhm.
handling the food
and
on
Yeah.
the
I
way.
just came up here to
and it's
say
not wrapped in
one thing.
plastic. It's not wrapped in plastic.
No,
It's
it's not.
fresh.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sitting
It's
in a
not.
What?
pile
Okay.
of ice, probably.
Yeah.
I wanted to come up here really quick to
Yeah, the
say,
fish are.
Maureen, I was like blown away because I saw that. What was that? 90-something pounds.
Yeah.
It was. I was looking at the tomatoes and I was like, "Am I looking at a farmer's market?"
Yeah. Right?
It was. I
Some
was
of her. Yeah.
I was like, "Dang, good girl, good job."
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thanks.
With
Yeah,
your
that
Mhm.
soil,
only
is that? Go ahead. I'm sorry, Maureen. Go ahead.
was 30, like the tomato poundage was 34 pounds of the tomatoes, and then the rest was the squashes. But that's the last picking of my tomatoes.
Mhm.
I have basically, whatever was in the video, I have that more than that in my freezer, and we've already made 11 quarts of
Mhm.
salsa. And so we're going to do ketchup and tomato sauce with these. I might do another salsa because we like, Mexican and Korean food are our favorite foods, and so like
Mhm.
we'll make a really quick
Oh, yummy. Oh, yummy.
Yeah.
kind of Mexican soup, and I usually
Mhm.
use 2 jars of the salsa. That's its base. Again, it's like we've moved away from buying, processed, or like, it's like I won't buy. I don't need to buy salsa for the rest of my ever, and we'll
Yeah.
just keep making it and canning it up and whatever, and it's a good base. So, but yeah, thanks, Barry.
Hey, Billy. Yeah, I'd like to.
Sarah, you
that's
were saying with my soil,
Yeah.
most of the soil is because this every bit of garden that I have
See, Billy.
4 years ago was grass.
Mhm.
And so this is whatever I've done to build it up. And so I do have a local farm where I get it's cow manure mixed with the local kind of debris. Like you can go, it'll be
Mhm.
big stumps, like
Like
if someone's-
compost. Like
yeah,
the
and so they
compost
compost
thing.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
No,
and it's
good
organic.
for you.
Be right
4
back.
years. Good. Awesome. That's fantastic.
But
Good.
the other thing that I had my
deal.
son
Good deal.
build me is in the very back where the chickens, where we call it the playground,
Yeah.
behind my greenhouse studio, I have 3 pallet sized compost bins. So I don't put any food, like fresh food scraps, because the mice. So, but I'll put yard
Mhm.
debris, the chicken manure, and everything. And then I have a double sized compost bin out in the front on my driveway And then I have the ones that I do put food that I don't want the rats get in. I've got a tower one and a rolling one. So I have
Mhm.
I have a composting facility in every corner of my yard, basically. When you think,
Yeah.
and so if with the stuff in the pallets, I can't get in there and turn it. It's just too
Mhm.
hard.
Yeah.
So if I leave it for 2 years, I get a pallet full, probably 2.5, 3, almost 3 feet full of just pure soil.
That's
And
awesome.
that's what I
Are
put
Good
you
deal.
covering it
That's
over with soil so things do not
Mhm.
go in, or are you letting your chickens pick through
my
it?
my chickens love going into the compost and like
Yeah.
I'll throw like some lettuce scraps, I'll throw them in there so that the girls will go in and scratch around, and then when I am digging it, they're happy to come in here. So
Yeah.
but,
Dangerous freedom. Yeah. He was a YouTuber that lost his life. We knew each other from his side chat many years back. Actually, it's not that many years, but I mean, when I started many years back, I started to get to know the two that just came in through Dangerous Freedom. Yeah, I said that to you, Kentucky Goblin, because you were saying about the wind. I don't know what's going on here. We've been having a lot of wind too, and now I just saw, like, it keeps showing me, my signal keeps going onto my little thing here saying, get a little iffy.
Yeah, you've been fine.
Good.
Just
Okay. I'm
Bob,
glad.
that
Yeah, Bob's a little, I don't know what it is. I think it's
some
because he's in a
latency
concrete.
latency in the voice. We still get it, but it's just there's that
Yeah.
pause, and his
He's
face
in a bunker.
catches
He's in
up.
He's in his
Oh, he's in
bunker.
the
That's why.
bunker.
Yeah, he's in the bunker. But yeah, I
Yeah.
had wondered about your soil because your garden is just magnificent. It really is. Like, the
Thanks.
production is incredible.
Mhm.
And when you have strong plants, you have less burden with all the stuff coming in and eating the plant if the plant is healthy, unless you have chickens who like to eat, your
Yes.
greens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
she
you know what I
makes
mean?
me want to set my garden on fire.
No.
Oh,
Although that's a special way to make soil. That's terra
yeah,
preta. That's,
yeah. But also the other thing is, and this
Biochar.
year,
yeah,
this year
makes
I
some
think
biochar.
I would have had it even more and better, but I got away from doing my weekly poo-poo
Yeah.
juice out there. Hey, Gear!
Mhm.
I didn't even see Gear
Yeah.
come in.
Oh yeah, I said hi to
Um,
him. And the best life. I just known him since I got on here 4 years ago. Anyway, go
Cool.
ahead.
And so using the compost tea last year, every week was everything in the front. Mondays, everything got compost tea, and then Tuesdays, everything in the backyard. This year,
Okay.
because of the heat and stuff like that, I wasn't feeding my plants as much, and I think I probably could have had a better season had I stayed dedicated to it, but I got a little tired.
Yeah. So you're making that exactly from your compost, or are you composting into the water and creating like the swamp water, like
I'm making swamp
DTG?
water.
Okay. Yeah, DTG calls it that. It's a David's fetid swamp water that you make,
Yeah,
and
I call it
it's
poo-poo juice.
yeah, it's poo-poo juice. I've heard
Mhm.
other people call it poo-poo juice because that's exactly how it smells. It's
Yep.
horrid. It's
Yep.
horrid. But
But
it works. The plants
Mhm.
love it. The microbes in the soil
yeah,
love,
the first
it.
time that
That's how you
use
know it's
it,
good.
when the first time you use it, it's like, yeah, I can't stand it. Don't get it on your hands because it's
Yeah.
like you won't get out of the nails.
It'll
But
yeah.
as I use it, it doesn't stink as bad to me
Mhm.
And when you see what it does, you go, okay, I'm pouring liquid gold. Because I watched
Yeah.
a pumpkin
Mhm.
plant that was sort of dying, just all of a sudden turn around and just produce like
Boom.
exponential. Like the color changed, and it was like, okay, this poo-poo juice is like magic.
Yeah.
And I just get a big Costco black tub and put it in there and put the lid on it, and they just sit out,
okay.
one in the front, one in the back.
That's smart.
You know what, Maureen, I don't have the facilities to compost here. We're staying here for just about 5 years and moving overseas. But I went back to seeing what my parents and my grandparents did with their plants, and I went back to that. Fish fertilizer, and next year I'm going to put bone meal, because I grow in pots. And everything I put fish fertilizer on would go crazy. Now
Yeah.
next year I'm going to put some bone meal, in the bottom of the pot
Mhm.
and stick with fish oil. I'll probably go to do some of that compost tea
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, that's like the banana juice that
Yeah.
we were doing, Bob. Remember when we were using the banana peels? That's
Right,
all it
right.
is. It's just letting it
Yeah, when I was
age more.
overseas, I watched Carol's video about putting banana peels and stuff and I put it in a water bottle, and it's really hot over there,
Mhm.
and weeds of the garden and all that, and just let it sit in that hot, burning sun. And I poured some of that on my flowers in my yard overseas, and they
Those-
just went like, thank you. Oh,
Yeah,
Mhm.
poo-poo juice is like
you.
Gatorade for plants.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
like,
much. Pretty
it's
much.
like
It is.
GT, do you do
That's
any
why
of that
I-
with yours? Like do you use the 511? Like
I used the 511, but
Yeah.
the bear visited my place the first year. Yeah, we got bears that
no.
live in the neighborhood, and
Our
they seen
neighbor.
a big bear on the beginning of the summer, so I didn't get to use 511 this
Oh
year.
no, because they'll come
Yeah.
for it because they love fish.
Yeah, they'll knock over the whole
That's their
garage.
food.
Yeah.
What's 511? That's new to me.
It's fish
Mhm.
fertilizer. It's the fish emulsion.
Fish fertilizer.
It's
Yeah.
the numbers that are on the bottle when you get the fish emulsion.
That's the
and it's-
NPK, yeah.
Yeah, it's the
511.
NPK on it. But the people use it as a foliar spray too. Like, what's funny because Maureen had mentioned, like, you get used to poo-poo juice smell when people are like, "Oh, that stuff stinks so bad." That 511. I opened it because I live in Florida and I'm used to the beach and I'm used to going down to the beach. I was like, this is really not that bad. Like it just smells like I'm going.
Smells like low tide. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Low
yeah.
tide.
It's just low tide. Yeah, exactly. It's low tide, or when you go out and people are fishing off the dock and their
Smells
stuff
like
is
my
there.
garden. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep,
The
pretty much.
interesting
Yeah.
thing here is like, I'm on an island and it's whichever direction I go, I can hit the ocean. And we're not allowed to go and pick up any of the seaweed or the sea onions that have rolled up
Oh,
and dried because this is
That's the best in the world.
provincial
here?
park area. So you
Oh,
can't
okay.
take it from there. And you go, but if I'm coming and I'm taking a bag full, like I'm cleaning up the sand
Yeah.
so that people can enjoy the sand as opposed to nope. You like, and there is like a line where it's like, here is the park and here is the non-park. So you can pick from here if you want, which I don't know where those lines are. And
my
there are people
gosh.
like, you're not allowed to take that. Don't take. It's actually natural garbage. So I'm just
Really?
gonna take it.
Yeah. Yeah. You'll find people like
Wow.
that.
It's not like it disappears and leaves the
Yeah.
earth.
Just feeding
You
the
know,
garden. I'm not
it
throwing
doesn't
it away.
disappear. It goes into the soil.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like here in Kentucky,
People will call you out for that, Marine,
Yep.
up there.
here in Kentucky, I can't go
Oh,
into
my
a creek
Lord.
and take a bunch of rock and put in my yard or my driveway.
What?
And they have a good reason why you can't do that.
What is it?
If you take rock out of the creeks over here, or the streams or the rivers, you're
Oh,
messing
okay.
with the ecology. You're
Okay.
messing with just a natural process.
But she's not taking it out of the waterway. This
I
is
know,
stuff that,
but
yeah.
I'm saying that's the reason we're not allowed to take things out of our
Right.
creeks.
So
and
okay,
streams.
so you took
For
Five-
spawning.
Maybe
five
for spawning.
little pebbles, and so you're not allowed to do that.
Wow.
I
guess
say
the thought
that
is
would be
if
a problem.
everybody.
It's like if I took 50
Yeah.
pounds or 1,000 pounds of rock out of a creek,
Yeah.
Mm.
it would bust my ass. I'm sorry. But
Well,
it
if
would bust me.
everybody would do it, if you think of it as like if they
Mm.
allow it and
Yeah.
then everybody does it, yes, that could definitely ruin
Right now would be the
that
perfect time
waterway.
because the creek over here where that natural spring is so dry.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, to find the good rocks, now's the time when everything's so dry. I know, like those water beds that are going so low and they're finding things like that have been hidden under the water, like maybe where the mob kind of dropped people off.
drop some things off.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Were
don't
they-
need this here. Let's put it here. Put a rock on top of it.
Yes, yes, exactly. Were they composted, some folks? Uh-huh. Yeah. But I mean, also just treasures and things like that. I think that would
Yeah.
be kind of cool to get out on the bed with one of those metal detectors
Yeah.
after it
Like
goes
they
down.
did
But I
in-
hate seeing all the low water. But
Yeah.
Bob used to say, like, oh, yeah, but then they won't film over this way where it's barged up and being kept back. They'll just show you the dry part.
Yeah.
But there's still water. They're just not
Yep,
showing you it
yep,
over here.
Right.
And it's like, because it doesn't go with
the
the narrative of that.
narrative. Yeah. I was telling her about how many of the lakes in this area are man-made because they're hydroelectric reservoirs. And then they'll fly over them during the summertime, and you'll show the stumps in the bottom of the lake. Oh, there's a water crisis. It's raining now. It's been raining for days. It doesn't stop raining here. Okay. Raise the power rate, and then what is it? What's
Oh,
that,
that's
Barry?
storms.
Oh,
That's
okay.
storm.
Get up
Yeah,
on
then
that
Cairo 7
search
News.
bar
You
at the
know.
top.
Yes,
and
Cairo
type
7
in Fishland, FISHLAND, Fishland.
Fish
Who,
land?
us?
And it
Oh,
should
are you talking? I'm going to
open
mute
up
you,
a
Barry.
window.
You're telling them how to play the game.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, but they do that to fit the narrative so they can raise the power rates and force conservation. You're crying out loud! It's going to be raining for the next 9 months.
Yeah.
Well, they were. I
And
think they
snow up in the
tried to even
Cascades.
do the whole.
We have a water shortage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was why Hamas did what it did. Was it was the environment. The environment made them do it.
Why Homestead Aquarius? Why say Maureen has
it all makes
boundary
sense now.
issues?
Because you can't find the boundary where you can pick up that seaweed, and when you can't.
I'm like, what kind of
Hey, that was
boundaries?
pretty good, Homestead.
Good pun.
Yes.
If they would put the line down to know exactly where
Yeah,
it is,
right?
and that side. So I have never gone down. I've just been, I've known people who've gone down there, and they go, "Yeah, someone was coming," and they were like, "We're telling on you that you're gonna." And I went, "Oh, unless I go late at night, yeah,
Seriously?
it's just ridiculous. Like it's like
What you should do is do a double pouch and do like trash in front and seaweed in back. Oh,
so smart.
there you go. Trash and
Timing is
no,
everything with
I'm
jokes.
just
Yes, it
picking up
is.
all the plastic bottles and saving the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
My luck, there'd be some weirdo in the bushes just watching and waiting. Oh, I see you. I see you.
No, she's got a benefit on her side, right? She can go out there and all the plastic or whatever, and then start the conversation. You see what those damned Americans have done? Blame the Americans.
Of course, because it's always our problem. Always us.
Oh, you're golden from that moment on, honey.
Do
You're
they ever
golden.
talk about though that it can pick up the heavy metals and it can pick up like Hiroshima stuff in the water? Because that's the big thing for here is they talk about the different stuff that's toxic that our seaweed is actually skimming off. And they're like, you really, that you want to think twice about using that in your garden because, it's got this and that. And then I'm like, okay, are you just telling me that so I won't have rich soil?
Exactly.
Or is that really there? Like, I don't know what.
A lot of this.
There is a lot of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There is but we better. That's right. We better. That could end us. Just picking seaweed could end us all.
I have destroyed the earth.
Oh, I'm sure it would. Yeah.
Maureen picked 5 pounds of seaweed.
And it's all because of those damned Americans and
That's
climate change.
Can't blame us. We're working hard to mend what we do. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but I had gas the other day and I didn't change anything over here. I was just trying to avoid myself for the longest time.
What? Say that again, Barry. What?
I said I had gas the other day. The only thing I was trying to avoid was myself. I didn't change any climate here. I didn't notice it get any hotter.
You just change the climate within your your
I
house.
saw the cats, on the other side of the house for some reason.
Silly. Oh my goodness, you're so silly. Yeah, I've watched David the Good actually do that kind of lasagna gardening and use the seaweed when he was down in Ecuador. And that made me like, ooh, never thought about that as a resource. I have that as a resource. And then soon after that, they were talking about heavy metals in it, and to be careful. And there's always something to be careful of. They've got to, I guess,
flown
report
over
something.
I have flown over the Pacific Ocean so many times. There is so much water down there. I mean, you would have to have 500 Hiroshima bombs every 2 hours for the next 2,000 years to pollute that much water. I'm serious.
Well, and we
you
have
fly over
microwave
and you see
ovens.
nothing for 10 hours,
Yeah. People have microwave ovens in their
Yeah,
homes. We
I
have
don't
now
know.
the 5G. Like, yeah, Bob, I get it.
Water
Probably-
everywhere.
Yeah,
Not a drop to
once
spare.
you see it with your own eyes, so what if that little nuclear plant over there it won't, and they
Yeah,
contained
by the
all
time
that.
it gets here, it's not. What they're making it out to be because
There's nothing. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
What
I mean, if you think about it,
our
wow,
human beings are full of trolls who want to stifle your creativity. Is basically what it is. People don't want to see you succeed with your own ideas. I think that's what a lot of it comes from.
Because if the rich didn't think of it first before the poor man did, then they can't let the poor man do it.
Well, even the poor with the poor, it's
Bingo.
called the crab mentality. Bob's talked about that over there in the Philippines.
Yep.
One gets ahead and they gotta, and we have that.
They want to destroy that one.
I see it, and I hate to say it and to turn in my own kind, but women are the worst at it. They are the worst at that crab mentality.
Right.
They will just tear you apart, thinking you're trying to steal their idea when it was yours originally, and they just were maybe semi paying attention, stole it from you while they were, and thought it was their original idea. And then they're pissed at you because, they think you're stealing your own idea. Yeah. It's pitiful.
We live in such luxury here that we can actually spend time thinking of ridiculous
I know,
bullshit
right?
like
I was
that.
thinking that too, Bob.
I mean,
like,
seriously.
There is
it's really
drama
true.
on YT. There's always drama on YT, but it doesn't compare to like the news. Like the news, what we saw in the news, it was traumatizing. Like really, they want to try. Like that was one thing I have to say about the IDF warned everyone. There are going to be pictures passed around. You don't want to be viewing those pictures because those are not coming from us. Those are specifically for terrorizing you and terrorizing young people. Keep your young people away from social media such and such time because it's coming out, it's churning out. And even hearing a poor Israeli girl who they uploaded her grandmother's death to her grandmother's phone. So the family all got it. That's how sick.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that's how sick.
Isn't that pleasant?
So that's why I was saying, like, we can laugh and joke and everything, but my heart is with Yossi tonight. My heart is with Israel. If you haven't seen a Palestinian talk about Hamas through, let me see what the thing is. I'll put it below this video on PragerU. You need to see it. You need to see how Hamas has ruined those people.
That's all I thought about is Yossi.
Yeah.
They're parasites on
exactly.
their own people.
And really, a lot of those people they killed were Arab Israelis. They killed their own who were in Israel.
Yeah.
Besides Americans, besides everybody from all different places, the majority of who they killed were Arab Americans. I mean, Arab Israelis. So, yeah.
And to think how many atrocities they commit against their own people.
Wait a minute.
And that you never hear anything.
I'm sorry. See,
about it.
to flip back to what I did. Yes, I did. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I have
Oh,
word salad sometimes.
I sit back and I shake my head at my channel's primarily preparedness, and the people I subscribe to are into
Yeah.
being prepared. Okay, how much BS has been coming out recently? Like that text message we got from the government. Oh my God, it'll activate the nanobots
Yeah.
in the COVID injection and turn you into a zombie. I mean, people were making a career out of a text message that was testing the emergency broadcast
Yeah.
system. I'm not joking with you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of prepper channels out there
They
that
were
are just
concerned with the frequencies for
and
sure. Yeah, I know.
got a
I
good
even
one.
was wondering what it was going to kick off, if it was going to kick off sleeper cells. And it's just really weird, though, that Hamas hit
didn't
right
do
after
anything.
we and Russia
Oh.
did that. It was like, let's just test our emergency broadcasting right before Hamas is going to hit. Like some intelligence
We
was
wouldn't
going
know
around.
how that stuck out like a sore thumb or anything.
Yeah, that to me says
But now
there is, something's up.
There's several channels out here on YT that are they've got
Fearful.
live cams pointed on the Gaza Strip, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my problem with those, several problems. One, okay, I watched for a few minutes and then I got really angry. And I didn't get angry just because of what's happening over there, but I got angry because the chat chat was just atrocious.
Oh,
The chat can be.
It was like, to some people, it was like a freaking video game.
Yeah.
Like it was a joke. Like it was, they're making jokes. But okay, so you can hide chat on any live stream. If you don't want to deal with the chat, just want to watch, you have that option.
Yeah. Yeah, the chat's traumatizing on some of this stuff too. I agree. The chat's traumatizing when I go over to look at Emir's stuff. I am so glad he does not have comments turned on.
Yeah.
Because he's got trolls in there that are pro Hamas.
But on top of that,
go ahead.
I'm all for anybody to make a buck. I mean, it's hard these days, right?
Yeah.
This channel, and I'm not going to say their name or anything. I'm not, y'all can look this up yourselves.
Or don't.
Yeah, or don't. Because you're probably better off not. But
yeah, or don't give them the attention. Go ahead, Barry.
A little animation of a drone pops down when somebody becomes a member or a subscriber, or they gave them a super chat.
It's a drone.
My problem with that is, man, I don't agree with them. It's like they're capitalizing on what's happening over there. And I could be looking at it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Were they using the drone before, though? Like, are they just
an animation? It's just an animation that pops down over the video whenever someone subscribes or someone gives them money or they become a member.
Yeah.
That's the part I'm really having a hard time with. I feel like
they just added it while this is going on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That sucks.
Like they're capitalizing on what they're showing. And I'm like, okay, whose side are you on?
Yeah.
Because the whole time the place is like, you can see the lights cutting off and on and, at night, and you can see the light from the, explosions and whatnot. Somehow they still had electricity over there, and, which I got solar, so I know where they're coming from. They're probably using solar to run that. I got 4 real high definition cameras. Even the audio is like pristine. There's too much thought put into it, and there's just that whole monetization thing. I stopped watching because I felt like they're just capitalizing on someone's misery.
Yeah, and they will do that. Yeah.
I haven't been back.
Well, that's why I didn't name this anything to do with the conflict, the war. I didn't name it after that. Like that.
Go
ahead.
I hear you. I hear you, because I'm usually on preparedness channels and gardening and self-sufficiency,
Mhm.
self-reliance. And when a channel turns to the fear porn, I unsubscribe.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to watch it
Not for us.
because they want people to get scared, so they'll come back and feed them more of their fear. Bye.
It
No,
is
no more.
addictive,
No
that's for
more. I'm
sure.
not watching your BS.
Anger
No.
too. They get people stirred up
Yeah.
with anger, and
Mm-hmm.
that's addictive. They're doing, they're
Anger.
using the
Mhm.
brain of the person against themselves, like the news does that on purpose. We've
Correct.
talked about it before.
And they're
It's like
making a buck off of it.
Mhm. Yeah. It's
Mhm.
funny, they're learning from the very people that they complain about.
Yeah.
And they're pulling stories from the very people that they complain about. Oh, that mainstream news. Meanwhile, let me tell you what's happening on the mainstream news, but in my voice.
Yeah, bingo.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean,
Not
and
kidding.
some of that chat, which was when, just more reason to shut the chat part off was
Mhm.
it reminded me of when I was really into World of Warcraft, from the very beginning up until about a year ago when I quit playing.
Mhm.
The chat was so childish.
Mm.
And it
And they
was like,
might be
nuke
might be
incoming in
children.
5 minutes, ha, ha, ha. And, and I'm like, there's a big difference between reality and a video game. I could shut the video game off,
Yeah.
and whatever I did on that game is done. They can't turn off what's happening to them right now.
No, they
They can't
can't.
just flip a switch and say, okay, I'm done playing this
Mm-mm.
game.
Mm-mm.
No, they can't. You're right. Oh, you're right.
And
And
I'm sure it's a lot of trolls or it's a lot of kids that don't know any better.
hey, J3GS, good to see you.
It's a lot of people who've never seen another man
Yeah.
die, is what
It
it comes
makes
down
you
to.
wonder, if they really know the difference between reality and fantasy.
Yeah. Mm.
Because reality's right there in their face.
We're very
in
sheltered
living
here.
color.
Mhm.
And yet
We're very
it's like,
sheltered here. We're very
Yeah.
sheltered.
We
yeah.
are. We are. I think too, talking like to go back to the original, like being neurodiverse or neurotypicals can compartmentalize easier to where they can be like, put it in this box and not think about it. And neurodivergents can't always do that unless they like get into unless they're distracted by their interests that they really, really love. Like say gardening for us, like we like that gardening, or I like to paint too. When I'm painting, I can hyper focus. So it's just always floating around in there. And then sometimes it'll just push right to the front. And it's not like you can just go, no, Sometimes you can't do that. And I don't know why that is. But it's like if you're in a room and there's all these things making noise and like, okay, the blender's over there, this is over there. For a neurodivergent brain, it's not over there, it's all here, kind of on the same volume. Like thankfully I don't have it that bad, but with thoughts it gets like that. With thoughts, it's like your brain's thinking of this one thing that doesn't really matter, and then suddenly you're thinking of this horrible war in the picture you just saw. And I will tell you what, guard your heart and your mind and do not look at some of these pictures. They will never leave your brain.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
That's me. I couldn't
can't do it.
Yeah. And poor Israel has to pump them out now because people are calling them liars. People are saying, oh no, that's a big lie. That didn't happen. This didn't happen. So now Israel's like, okay, you don't believe, then I'm sorry. We have to put this out. This is happening. Our people are being whatever, and put in the horror. And yeah, it's just there.
I guess like you explained it though, Carol, just a minute ago when you said that it's all right there as far as all the noise and everything going on. Mm-hmm. It's almost like standing in the middle of a stadium, only the stadium suddenly became 3 foot wide and 3 foot tall, and all that stuff is just right up in your face, all up in your ear holes.
Yeah. Mhm.
I can't, like the other day, I think he's left, but Kentucky Goblin took me to Walmart. They had to do a
Mhm.
few things in the store too. So
Mhm. Sensory
the
overwhelm.
music was so loud,
Yep. It always is now.
and
I
I'm
hate
not.
that.
I don't like this new pop music. It's just a 5-year-old could write better,
Yeah.
but it's not about the music. It's just the fact that the volume, and then
Mhm.
people were like talking over it.
Yes. Yep.
And here's where it got worse. I was really having a hard time. I had a list of what I needed to get, but I was having a
Mhm.
hard time, even though that list was in my face,
Mhm.
getting everything that was on that list because I could
Focus.
not concentrate at
Yep.
all. And I
Yep.
got
And
to the front
that's
of the
intentional.
store.
That's
Uh-huh.
intentional. It's
Oh, I'm
totally
sure it is.
intentional. So
And
you buy more.
I got to the front of the store to the registers because I have had enough.
Mhm.
And they had called me on the phone, I believe, or text me and said, we're done or whatever. Anyway,
Mhm.
or no, I don't think they text me. He Goblin
Mhm.
found me at one of the self checkout things. But
Mhm.
anyway, it was 10 decibels louder at the front of the store than it was in the back.
Wow.
And there was so much going
Wow.
on, and I could not. It was all I could do to focus on that stupid little screen. And luckily you've got that beep. That beep is let you know that you scanned it, and of course you got the screen that tells you whatever it is you just scanned. And I told him, I said, he came over to my register. I said, man, I'm ready to get out of here. I can't do this. I said, it's like closing in on me, getting smaller,
Mhm.
and it's getting louder.
Yeah.
I mean, we
What,
were
what,
only 2 foot apart, and I felt like I had to yell at him for him to hear me.
Yeah.
one thing that I would recommend doing is like when I've gone into clubs or just places with
Okay.
loud music, and if I don't have my earplugs with me, I will go into the washroom, get two, just a square of toilet paper, roll it up, and put it in my ears. Just having that will help to,
Buffer.
yeah, because it's like it's like I'm a singer, and it's like I get one set of ears, and I need these ears to work.
That's
And if
right.
I'm going into a place that is just deafening loud,
Yeah.
then it's like just putting
Okay.
those in. And if I need to, and I'll just have it in there. And if I need to move it a little bit more so I can hear a person talking, I'll bring it down. But just to help calm that out. But it's Barry, it's the megahertz that they're playing the music. It was back in 1940 where most music was at 440 megahertz, and they changed it,
Yeah.
and I think it's a higher level, and that actually stirs up can stir up it's an agitating
Yeah.
type of sound.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
our kids are so used to it
Yeah,
that they
it's in
don't
the
even
hertz
know.
range.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah, you
music
would know.
originally was at 330, but
Right.
they
Me
messed
too,
with it
Duncan.
somewhere along the line. And
After the Second World War,
yeah,
Mm.
I mean,
somewhere
all
in there.
musical instruments used to be on that 330 hertz range, and then they changed it. But like I said, most of the music's not worth listening to. But I'm a metalhead, so I mean, and I've been to concerts and stuff, and I've played my music probably louder than most people should, but
Mm.
and I paid for it. Okay,
Right.
tinnitus, but it's like I do that on my terms.
Mhm.
I'm
Right.
not like I don't go into Walmart to listen to whoever the heck that is.
Yeah.
I go in there, I want to shop, I want to get what I'm in there for and get out because
Yeah.
I can't stand crowds for one thing.
Mhm. Oh, I've actually with Walmart, I've had to just run in, run out because of if I'm on the road, especially their lighting. If you're driving at night, is
Mm,
really hard to go from that bright fluorescent light to go back into your car and continue to
Yeah.
drive home and have
mhm,
it not affect your vision.
mhm.
So yeah, I don't stay in there long.
Mm-hmm.
I've even gone to the point of buying those driving glasses. I don't know if anybody's
Mm.
ever got those.
I've always wondered if they worked.
what they do is they put like a yellow cast, but it does tone it down a little bit for the oncoming lights, and that's what I was having a problem with, was the LED lights
Yeah.
in the dark suddenly coming out of nowhere
Yeah.
right into my line of vision, and
Yeah.
it did help a little bit.
Yeah, at
But
nighttime, I can't be driving by police lights going on. I have to actually turn myself away
Mhm.
because it'll actually start to agitate, and where you go,
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna be nauseous. Or there's
Mm.
one screen at a it's for our Save On, it's called Save On Memorial Center, so it's where they do the big hockey games and the big concerts and stuff.
Mhm.
They got a big billboard, and as you're coming around the corner, the billboard changes, and it might be like just pure white. And
Big
again,
flash.
yeah, and it's like, wow, I got a little dizzy, a little nauseous, not sure if I can handle this.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't handle. So I've wondered if the yellow lights or the yellow glasses, and actually at nighttime, like I don't need these to see for distance
Mhm.
or driving. It's just to see my phone or small print. And
Mhm.
so if it's raining here, I actually take my glasses off because I
Mhm.
actually, again, it's like, dirty glasses, dirty windshield, raining. It's like I can't see anything. I shouldn't be driving. I'm not safe. And people are not safe on the road with me. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, you walk into a Wally Mart and they've got you. You're right.
Mhm.
And Target too has their cameras. Every place really has them, but yeah, I can't handle those kind of light anomalies that happen
Our
either.
Walmart, I hopefully I can describe it. It was because I don't go there very often, but it was like I went and there was these long, like they're thin black things up high, and then
Mhm.
because it's like, well, I don't know if they're cameras, because it's like the piece was at the end of this, you know,
Mhm.
cord or whatever. It was something about like smaller than this up high, and they
For
were
sure.
all along, the rows. Like there was tons of them, and it was like, what the heck is this for? It's
About
like, I don't know what
how
that.
much of this is really our camera and how much
Right?
is computer. It's totally possible, I'm sure, that it could be
Yeah,
cameras.
it
Like
probably. Yeah.
even what about doorbell cams? Those are small.
Oh yeah, that's true. I guess they could be cameras, but it was
Mhm.
just so odd to walk in and go, what the heck is that? I don't
It's
know.
facial recognition,
Mm.
like the the red dragon country.
Mm.
That's what concerns me, is that like we keep making them like, oh, they're so bad, and yet why are we starting to change and use some other tactics? Like just listening to part of the T-Man's, one of his speeches, he's like, I kept warning you about socialism. He goes, but it looks like you've skipped over that and we're going right for communism in the United States. And I was like, yep, we see it too. Like, can you help us out? Like, how do we kind of stop this? Because we don't know. Like,
Yeah, the
because
interesting thing, I was talking to someone just recently, and I said, growing up, it was like everything was Russia was really bad. Russia's really bad.
yes,
They're gonna
yeah, right.
like there was always that feeling of like any
Mhm.
moment Russia's going to bomb my
Yeah.
country,
Mhm.
and I need
Yeah.
to be prepared. And and it's like when you're young, and so then anything to do with Russia, it was like they were always
Mm-hmm.
bad people, and also anything in history in high school, it was like always cold. They were always in the cold. They don't have summer, they just have cold. And same with Germany.
Yeah.
And then when you stop and if you visit those places, or you meet people that live there, and you get to spend some, get to experience, it's like, oh, you mean you just have yourselves going to school just like we are?
Yes.
Your parents go to work, you drive in a car. It's like it's amazing what your brain
Yeah.
um
Mm-hmm.
has been told, because it was just like, yeah, the Russians are gonna bomb, they're gonna bomb North America, and that's it. And it was like
Mm-hmm.
hmm
it's just
That's why the fear porn on YouTube, I avoid it like the plague.
Yeah.
Because if you actually go overseas and meet these people,
just like,
they're just like
Yeah.
us.
Exactly.
they're fighting
They're the
with their
same as we
spouses,
are.
fighting with
They
their
don't want to
kids,
hurt each
no,
other.
trying
They
to
don't-
feed their kids.
Yeah. Trying to trying to pay their bills. It's like all the Muslims I know overseas. Oh, the Muslims are going to attack the world. And I've sat down and played cards with Muslims,
Mhm.
drank beer with them.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to feed their kids and
Yeah.
keep a roof over their head, just
Yeah.
like we are. No, they're not. They're not evil. Maybe a tiny
Yeah, small
percentage
group.
of them
That's-
are who are being
yeah.
But
It's
I
just
didn't
like-
think that.
paid to be
I-
that way.
Yeah.
You know?
I thought they were all.
Mm-hmm.
They were training their kids up to, and like you just think it's like the
Yeah.
whole place is bad. It's cold, it's miserable. They're angry, and they want to, they want to bomb us. And then you stop and you go, oh, right.
Yeah.
So you're just exactly like, there's a group of 5 people having a video over in Germany, and they're just like, yeah, I always just thought those Americans were going to come over and bomb us. I just didn't know.
Yeah.
It's like, it's bizarre.
Well,
Well, actually, I've heard that because like when you're watching late night TV and they'll have, support a child over in whatever country and stuff like that,
Mhm.
and missionaries going over there. Over in Europe, they have commercials about helping Americans, help to feed the Americans.
No way.
Yeah, same thing.
It's all about
Yeah,
getting
we
that
need
money.
to help the Americans. They're-
Donate, donate.
they're-
That's mine.
it's like,
Uh-huh.
look at, you want to help
Mhm.
little Timmy because he
I-
can't, and they get the
Bye,
same stuff.
y'all. Gotta get back
Oh,
to
you gotta
work.
go. Bye,
Yeah,
GT.
take
Thanks
care,
for
DT.
joining
Have a
us.
good one,
See
y'all.
ya.
You
Peace.
too.
Thanks for
Take
hanging out.
care. Mhm.
Yep. Thank
Peace
you,
out.
GT.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
can watch
they-
GT
they-
on
they
his
have-
channel.
Yeah.
Maybe propaganda to
I-
help us over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told this story before when I was with my nieces overseas, and they're being brainwashed how evil the United States is.
Mhm.
And why do you people burn plastic and dump plastic in the ocean? Huh? And I rounded up a half a dozen videos for plastic
Mhm.
recycling centers. There's
Yeah.
a big one in Tennessee. Rail cars full of that stuff
Yeah.
arrive, and they make it into furniture and fence posts and all that. And I showed her. I said, now then I found out later where she's getting her information is it's being pumped to the Philippine public
Uh-huh.
on Facebook.
Mhm.
Book.
Mhm.
Bob, you're-
Interesting.
And that's why another niece. Huh?
Bob, you remember what the Voice of America did, don't you?
Bob, what?
The Voice of America
do you
shortwave
mean?
station was feeding propaganda overseas,
Hmm.
but Russia was doing the same thing over here.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what the VOA's
Mhm.
real job was. Now
Oh,
they
thanks for
don't
the
do that
hearts,
anymore,
guys.
but
Yeah.
you remember?
No,
Yeah.
we don't admit to
That's
doing
today.
it
Now
anymore.
it's Facebook.
Right,
We
but
don't admit to doing
10
it.
years ago, people over in Europe
Now
were
it's
calling us
Facebook and
fat
whatever
and rich.
else.
Mhm.
You
What
know,
was that? What? Say that again?
they were calling Americans fat and rich.
Oh, that we're all fat and rich. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that we
for
were
some
all obese
countries,
and everything.
yeah.
It's like, who's telling you this
Yeah.
and why?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
To
now
divide.
it's like
To
they
divide.
want to know
Facebook,
more about
TikTok,
us
all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
because they're starting to
Mhm.
see the truth, and they're also starting
Mhm.
to see what America's going through, and it's like they're starting to see it in their country
Yeah.
because they're seeing it here first, and now they're like, especially on YT, they're
Mhm.
like they want to know more about us, and they
Yeah.
want to know what's really going on
Yeah. Yep.
because
And-
they know the
Well,
more
I
they know about
will tell you
here,
this.
the more better they'll be prepared
Mhm.
in their country.
You guys have heard me talk about Australians overseas and how they
Mhm.
hate us. They hate anyone from the United States. They hate us.
Mm.
They hate us because we're stupid Americans, And I watched some of their Sky News Australia. Go
Yeah,
check it out
Sky
on
News
YouTube.
does,
Sky
yeah,
News
Pump a lot
Australia.
of crap into their country.
Oh, they're horrible.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, that's
But
just
I go on
like,
a panel
Yeah.
occasionally.
go ahead. Sorry.
I go on a panel occasionally with Maria. She lives over in Macau. She's a Filipina. And once a week there's an international panel. And the one guy from England has been to Taiwan and Japan and some other places. He can relate to what I'm saying, but the Australians that I talk to there focus in on what's going on in the United States. They can tell you who the president is, who the vice president, the chair, you know. And I said, focus in on your own country.
Yeah.
You guys don't even have paved roads.
Right. You're on an
You
island.
can't even mint your own currency and fees. Yeah.
How easily will you
focus
be
in on your
controlled?
own country?
Yeah.
Well,
by don't look here. Look at those
Yeah.
guys. They're horrible. They're awful. Hate
Realize
them.
what
Hate them.
they're doing
don't
to
look
you.
at me.
Yeah.
well, that's what's up here in Canada. And it can be with a stranger. You know, our Sparkle Socks, there's a lot of products with the same last name. And so, you know, and it was like, I'm looking at these bowls and it's like, I could really use these bowls. And so I said to the woman, that was another shopper. And I said, but I just don't want to have, because on the bottom of it says that. And I don't know if it's related to his name or if it's just somebody else. And so, and she goes, well, at least it's not Mr. T-Man that you guys speak about.
Oh gosh,
not
one
him.
of them.
And it was like, and I stopped and I want to say, and it's like one of these days I'm going to have the courage to go, wow, you speak about him. It's like, I can't stand him. He's just awful. And it's like, okay, so did he come into your home, kill your dog, and beat your aunt?
How do you know about him?
And it doesn't like, it doesn't matter. Everybody's got some corruption or good, bad, otherwise. And you go, but you're going to speak as if he has affected you personally, and he hasn't. But if you go look at Sparkle Socks over there, he's affecting you. He's affecting you personally right now. But that person over there who's not even, you know, he's not running their country anymore. You're still angry at him. Why? What did he kill your aunt? Did he come in your house and you know and destroy your home? Like if you almost
dog.
You go, but it's like they watch it.
Did he freeze your bank account?
It's the TDS that they talk about. Trump.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
There you go, Bob.
Yeah, that's what they were doing over here.
Did he freeze your bank account?
And
I know, but yet they'll look at this guy in another country. He's evil. The guy we got in the Oval Office right now, he'll rape your kids.
Kentucky.
He will. He will rape your kids. But he's old gentle Joe.
Yeah.
I
Gentle
you know,
Joe
there's
who
been
called black children cockroaches and got away with it.
And they're just as smart as white kids.
Yeah.
What the fuck? You know?
I know. But then again, which Joe are we talking about? Because there's one with attached ears and one with dangling ears.
Yeah, and the CGI Joe,
and then there's
eyes
CGI
don't move,
Joe,
who wears eyes don't move, and
what the heck is going on? It is this world crazy.
I run into stuff overseas, and people who have a complete misunderstanding about us.
Oh yeah,
complete misunderstanding because they listen. Man, I'm telling you, there's so much of the mass media that I usually watch YouTube, some Netflix movies, some Tubi movies, and a little bit of Facebook for my family only.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to go on Facebook.
Cut all the rest of the bullshit out.
Yeah, I barely I
cut all the rest of the bullshit out.
It's like I watch, farming videos and gardening videos or things about cats.
There you go.
Cats.
Yeah.
Because it's like my mom will go, "Oh, did you see this?" And I said,
music.
You don't actually know if it's the truth or not, or if it's the footage that you're watching was from 4 years ago. It could be from that. And
exactly.
So I said, it's like, it could be true or it might not be true until you talk to someone that is in that situation right now. You don't know. Like, 'cause she was like, "Oh, all the big flooding that was going on in Las Vegas." And I said, my friends live in Las Vegas. I said, I'll just, message her. And it's like, is it okay? She goes, "Oh, we're just like, we wish that the rains would come."
Yeah.
And it's like, where
and
everybody,
I hear you. I've run
Wow,
into
that's
that a
And it was
million
like,
times over the
she
years.
goes,
I've run
she
into
goes, she
that
goes,
same thing a million
we got a
times.
little bit of rain, but it was like, but my mom's watching on the news this big
Yeah.
flooding that's going on.
Yep.
And it's like, and it's
Mhm.
just destroying
It's called
everything.
file footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And it's like,
crazy.
It's called file
and you
footage.
go, what
Yep.
year was that
Yep.
from?
Yeah. And that's, yeah, they were talking about that too. That's happening with the war over there.
Yeah.
Inserting stuff. There was one of when the whatever, the Hamas group, when they were calling for everybody to join them, they played footage from years ago of certain people scaling the walls in Israel to make it look like they had a ton of people coming for that call to, like, you know, get other people stirred up. And that's the same thing. Like,
Oh,
what
yeah,
are,
file footage.
yeah,
Mhm.
what are we really seeing? Like, when we're seeing all these
Mhm.
other countries, like, what are we really
Because
seeing?
the younger generation hasn't seen that footage.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's easy
Yes,
to put it
that's
out
true.
there.
Mhm.
But the rest of us are going, WTF? You know, it's like, I've seen this before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was on the news. I saw it. It's got
And
to
I
be
can tell you what I
real.
was doing when I saw it. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
You-
Remember the plight of the
Do you know
people
what
near
the-
the border, and then they showed that they put them on buses and brought them up there.
Right. It's
And
like they've been walking for 4
Yeah.
days. They're in flip-flops.
yeah,
I'm sorry. If I walked,
Yeah. Yeah. How
I
you gonna?
couldn't walk. I couldn't walk,
Yeah.
you know, 8 hours in flip-flops, and you would see me limping and,
Mhm.
you know.
yeah, they're not
Yeah.
limping. Yeah, they're very
Mhm.
fresh and in flip flops, and their clothes were fresh. And everybody's like, "Why aren't they dirty?"
I would be
what is that?
miserable.
Is that a
Sweaty.
fresh Coke in his hand? Or is that,
Mhm.
oh, look, that water's still got perspiration
Yeah,
on it.
the little umbrella stroller full of two babies, and they've been walking ever since Ecuador
Mhm.
all the way to No,
Yeah.
no, it don't. It
Them
don't work
wheels
that
are
way.
awesome on those.
Be ready for another
wheels.
Right.
another wave of them coming in, because there is a massive fishing fleet off the coast of Ecuador, and that's how they're getting across the
Mhm.
ocean, guys. Is the Chinese are bringing them
Yeah.
over, tens of thousands
Yeah.
of them, tens of
Yeah,
thousands.
So we
they're
can have
okay
a
with
bunch of
Cuba
sleeper
now.
cells.
It's a
More
It's
sleeper
a
cells.
fishing fleet.
Yeah.
It's a fishing fleet. My ass, it is. Those are
That's right, Duncan.
full of people.
Yeah, they were
People
so
on the way
poor,
in,
but
fish on
had
the way back.
the latest cell phones.
Mhm.
So their plight was.
Yeah.
I love the poetry with Homestead
Yes,
Aquarium
don't you like
here.
that?
It's like, wow, you guys, like, you know,
CGI Joe, Bill
Oh,
Atkinson.
yeah. Remember
And
that
sniff your
girl?
hair.
Yeah.
I'll touch
Same
you
people.
there,
Remember that
even
girl
on the
that
live
kept
air.
showing up at all the school shootings?
Yep.
And
Yep.
finally, someone just pointed it out. They're like, why is she at all these school shootings? And they're
Yeah,
different
that's what
states.
he's saying too. Multiple,
Like,
same people at multiple
we're so dumb, we
disasters.
can't see that.
yeah.
Hey,
Well,
yeah.
the hospitals that they were showing, it was always the same footage, whether it was in, you know, Italy or over somewhere else, and it would be the same, you know, hospital looking at these beds, and there would be a little boy, and it was the same little boy. Didn't matter what country it was. It was like, oh, that's happening here. Oh, that's happening here. It's like, nope, that's the same footage. Did you not? Did you
Yep.
not see that?
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
eventually I just stopped.
You're
I
not
stopped
paying
watching
attention.
because I just went,
Yep.
I don't know what the truth is. And unless I'm
Yeah.
speaking to them, because that's even what we had here with the the mass,
Turn it off,
Yeah.
man.
mass
Just turn
convoys.
it off.
You know, they
Yeah.
had all sorts of stuff that
Off.
was being said.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then I watched this guy, Viva la Fri. He's a former lawyer turned YouTuber, and he
Mhm.
was going with a live camera and going, "I'm going to go and be, you know, here live and talk to the people." And so that was where I went, okay, so now I really know
Mhm.
Oops.
what's really going on with this convoy, and what they were saying wasn't the truth, you know.
Mhm.
And it was like
Mhm.
the crime rate went down. They were keeping the streets clean. They were being
Yeah.
very respectful, not
Yep.
with the honking, like the honking, you know, because they were really
Yeah.
trying to. But then eventually they went, okay, we got to stop the nighttime honking because that's not really fair to the residents of the
Mhm.
community.
Mhm.
But it wasn't
Yeah.
what we were being fed here in Canada was different. And it was
Yeah.
like Viva la Fry was alive. It wasn't just a footage that he pre-recorded. It's like
Mhm.
you could be talking to them and saying, hey, you know, da 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 da, and he would respond to your, you know, texting at the time.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
and so then that was like,
Yeah.
that was my right there you go. Unless, and whatever's going on, I don't know how bad it is. It could be worse than what it's being shown,
Mhm.
or it could be not as bad. But unless someone is there and speaking about it and what their experience is, that's the only thing that you can trust in.
Yeah.
Because my
Mhm.
sister called and said, "Oh, the Toronto Dominion Bank, it's doing this, da, 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 da." And she says, "There's a woman that's in the chat, and I trust her." And it's like, have you ever seen her? Have you ever met her? I've
Mm,
been listening to her for 3 years, and it's like, but you
Mhm.
don't know if someone has taken her identity. You don't know, la 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 la, and it's like, so don't
Yeah.
panic. Don't go be freaking out about whatever the bank is doing. It's like, unless you see it, unless you see the actual paper and you see this person, face to face, that them, you can't trust anything. Stop
yeah.
believing anything.
Yeah.
I believe these 4 people here.
Because I know them. Because I know them
Yeah, because you can
personally.
see us.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. It's
Uh-huh.
very. Yeah. It's very difficult to sort through, and just even the psychology of keeping us stressed, keeping us angry, keeping us
Mm.
like just turbulent. We spend more
Mm.
money. We
Mm.
spend more money. We spend more money.
I drink more, but
Well, you're spending money on alcohol.
I
Alcohol's
am.
not cheap,
I am.
but
But
it is.
we do bottle our own wine, so the
Oh,
wine is
nice.
pretty cheap. Yeah, it gets down to like $6 a bottle of wine, and
That's awesome.
yeah,
You
so
do it in batches, like that's
yeah, I don't make the
amazing.
wine. I just the company they make it for me, and it's absolutely fabulous.
I'll be right over, darling.
I know, right? I want to come
We-
to that
Mhm.
Well,
class.
if you remember, when I did the get to know me one,
Hey,
Backwoods
Backwoods
Law.
Law, what's up? Bruce, it's so
Wow.
good to see you.
who is it? Oh, Backwoods Law.
Oh no, really? Thank you for letting us know.
Mm.
That's our guys, Backwoods.
Yeah,
It's an old
Yeah,
friend
old
of
friend of all of
ours,
ours.
Maureen,
Yeah.
Backwoods Law.
I heard about that earlier
He
today.
he was, yeah, he was, he was an operator in the U.S. forces for many years,
Hey,
and
got a garden?
he's one of those genuine guys.
So what is the 7th ADA?
Hey.
What is that? Is boots dry in Tel Aviv? What does that mean? The 7th ADA. I don't know what that is.
Air Division, something?
I need someone
Step
to
7th ADA. Oh my gosh. I thought Israel didn't want us on the ground, so that
Yeah.
if we are,
Oh, she
Lord
jumped
God,
in the
I
car.
lift up this war to you, Lord, and I just pray for all the people that are caught up in it. Pray for the families over there. I pray for our families. I pray for your mercy and protection over all the Middle East, over Israel. I pray that you would give the leaders wisdom and not a spirit of evil, Father. I pray that you would crush the spirit of the enemy that is over there and working through anyone in leadership. I pray that you would block anything that is untrue going into their ears that would harm more people than help. But Father, I pray that we would not be starting war, whatever it is, with that our countries, with Russia, with the United States. I pray that you would keep us out of there. I pray for our vets who have PTSD right now. I pray for them, Lord, that you would meet them where they're at. I pray that you would take the visions that haunt them away from them. And I just pray for our Yossi, that you would keep him safe, that it would not come near his small area, Father, even larger, his building, Father, that you would just encapsulate it with your angels that will war for him. Father, my heart is heavy and sad. This is life and death, Father, and I just pray that you help us choose life. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Wow. Thanks, Bruce, for letting us know. I was going to play something because this was what I saw, like how you're saying how the media plays us, and they do. This was in English. I think it was English. Let me see first. No, it might have been actually somebody in the Middle East with this. I might get in trouble, but I'm going to play it anyway. Because if I can't be brave against giggle, come on. Let me see. Let's not remove my. I'm going to make myself big for just a second if I can figure out how to do it.
Solo, it's on here.
Yes, thank you, Barry. Okay. Let me see if I can get it the audio because I'm on. You know what? Let me take my headphones off.
Oh, now you're muted, darling. Oh, she won't be able to hear me.
Yes, you can.
Let me set it up again. Give me one
there
second.
you are.
Nice. You know, of course, my phone call
Can you not share it through the sharing through?
No, I don't. It was on actually. Hold on. Darn it. I'm so shaken with what Bruce said.
There's no electricity, there's no water, there's no food going in, still supplies going in, borders closed with Egypt as well. There's only little criticism of Egypt for that, interestingly. In that, and while raining down missiles on buildings which they know are going to kill civilians, we know hundreds and hundreds of civilians have already died, babies and children. Is that a reasonable, proportionate, and moral response by Israel?
Some deep perversion in Britain whenever Israel is involved in conflict, and it is the word you just used, proportionality. Only Britain is really obsessed with this. I've heard it for the last few days incessantly. Proportionality in conflict rarely exists. But if we were to decide that we should have this fetish about proportionality, then that would mean that in retaliation for what Hamas did in Israel on Saturday, Israel should try to locate a music festival in Gaza, for instance, and good luck with that. Should try to find a music festival in Gaza and bring precisely the number of women that Hamas raped on Saturday. Kill precisely the number of young people that Hamas killed on Saturday. They should find a town exactly the same size as a town like Sderot, where I've been many times myself, and make sure they go to door and kill precisely the correct number of babies that Hamas killed in Sderot on Saturday, and shoot in the head precisely the same number of old age pensioners as were shot in Sderot on Saturday, just to choose one town. Proportionality in conflict is a joke, and it's a very strange British concept which we've had, that only the Israelis in a conflict, when they are expected to have precisely the proportionate response.
There you go. That floored me, and I was so glad that he spoke up to her and told her there's no proportionality. What is this crap? And why are you holding them to it? What other countries do you hold proportionality? Like what? Ugh, hold on. Here. Sorry about that. Am I muted again? No, I'm good. Oh, hey, Brittle Bob. Oh, you're welcome. Learn to grow. I saw you come in. I am praying for peace in Israel. Yep, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And also all the countries that surround it. These are all God's children. They just may not be behaving like they should be behaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my heart goes out to the Palestinians, Brittle Bob. But Hamas is not for anyone. They're for death. They're not for the Palestinians. There's definitely they're evil. They're for death. There's definitely a really good one on PragerU about how Hamas has basically destroyed their own people. How, their terrorist activities have wrought these wars that came against Palestine. Their terrorist activity did it. So I am so sorry for people who do have family on both sides. It is a war, and it's horrible. War is hell, like they say. We pray for the peace of everyone that's
Mhm.
involved. We don't want war. No, thank you, Backwoods Law. I appreciate that you
Yeah.
let us know. But we were just talking about too clips of not knowing for sure, like if they're showing us old clips or new clips, if they're manipulating America right now with all the propaganda.
Or if they're even CGI. I mean, they could
Yeah.
be computer
Yeah.
generated. AI could do so many things now. It's insane.
Oh, pray for God. Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
So much discontent.
This
So
is
much anger.
out to Bruce Backwoods Log. I've got a playlist on my channel of what's going on out in the Pacific, because that does affect me directly. That's my family. We've got our forces are all over the world, man. All over the Pacific right now, especially the trainers who are, because Chinese are taking over so much real estate from the smaller neighboring countries and killing people. They're monsters. They're evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that affects me directly because that's my family over there.
Yeah. Yeah. And also too, like there are the forces that are putting some of this into play may have said, okay, we want this going off over here because we're going to do this over there after you get this going. Because like, look how the Ukraine is practically forgotten about. Like, oh, we're not over there. Like the news isn't even like talking about them anymore. Like,
no.
If you look at that, I put together a playlist on my channel, Carol, about what's going on in the Pacific, the Spratly Islands and Scarborough Shoal, and the isle. China moved their boundary all the way down to Indonesia now, and they're taking islands away from every small country out there. It's never mentioned.
no.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing is being broadcast to us. I have to go find news sources from overseas. Right. That's why I put a playlist on there. Go to those channels, subscribe them, and then follow it yourself. Because and they never mention it. Yeah, the Ukraine. It's not here anymore. It doesn't.
Backwards AI detector is a thing on the internet. If you have a copy, you want to run through it. Huh. So there's something out there like an add-on that you can detect AI going on certain stuff? Yeah. This statement makes me think about God says, who can know their heart? Basically, it's desperately wicked. We all have this capability within, and that's what's so scary. We all could be that darkened, and it's just sad. By the grace of God, like we're not there, like, and that dark, like in that darkness that they celebrate death, and they think that death is the like, how do you? That's not even a concept to me, to live like that, to just be in that mindset all the time. But my heart. There are airmen on the way to Guam right now from off. Okay.
Yeah. I've been keeping track of all there's another Air Force base I haven't reported about over there that a friend of mine's dad was involved in building it in the Philippines. It's U.S. and coalition, I should say, but there's Air Force bases all over the Philippines and the Palau Islands now. So a combination of Australia, Japan, and the United States. Same with the South Koreans. And the news never mentions it, how they've got multi-nations over there training together and working together to stop the Chinese aggressions across the South Pacific.
Yeah.
But not worth mentioning.
It's funny because
Ukraine will go away. All of it will go away.
They don't, it's like they mention our subs off our coast, like that's a new thing. It's like, do you know in the 90s when my husband and I went to this prophecy thing out of nowhere, we just heard about this speaker and we went, and they were talking about it back then in the 90s. It was a You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if he was a colonel or if I forget exactly his rank, but he was a high-ranking member, and he talked about, oh no, our subs and Russian subs are always playing war games off this coast. They're always out there with their radar going. They're always
Yeah.
there. And yeah, that was an eye opener because I didn't know that. You know, never knew that. But now it's like it's this new thing. It's like no,
Right.
it's not new.
No, it's not a new
thing.
thing.
No,
Not a new thing.
no.
No.
Only thing I noticed different here recently is the increase in military aircraft. Of course,
Mhm.
you know, I've said this in the past. I'm in several flight paths,
Yeah.
and you know, I look on Flight Tracker quite a lot, and because I've got my ears tuned now to, I could tell. I don't care how high up it is. I could tell exactly what it is, and I just pull up Flight Tracker and I confirm.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a C-137, or you know, was a this or that. And you know, there's a reason they're going up there. Things could pop off at the last second. Would you want them on the ground, or would you want them in the air doing their job?
They have not done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. And Bob, if my other Bob, if he's still listening, my heart does go out to your wife with Brutal Bob having family over there right now. I really, my heart is not for war. My heart is for peace. My heart is for peace. I have Yosi over there. So, yeah. And I think we're all still in shock of what has come out of, you know, there and what has happened. But just like we were talking about before, the only reason I know stuff and I listen to certain things is Yosi and my love for him. And then, of course, Judaism. I am a branch off of Judaism because I'm a Christian. So, yeah, you know, my phone quit. And heaven do I have it on the charger? Okay. I'm not the best Christian, by the way. Okay. I'm not like, just saying it. I curse. I get mad.
Who can be?
We're doing the best we can,
be.
Carol.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I do have Jewish ancestry in my family, but not that we know, not that I know who they are. But my great grandmother, her name was Barbara Solomon, and her daughter Rosie, whom you know she married a Prussian back then, and she was a Jewess, and so you know it does. It affects me, but it's like, but I don't know who my family is over there. Like, it's not that we had any contact. You know, my great grandmother came over to the United States and lived in Dakota, I do believe, back in the late 1800s. So
yeah, that's cool.
So
We've wondered in our family if our German ancestry got out of there before things, you know, got really bad. They were already out of Germany, but there was already like some conflict, and we wondered if they covered up their Judaism, because we have some names too in the family that can be both. That can be both, the German or German Jew. So yeah, I often wonder
I'm fixing to put Phoenix in timeout if he doesn't behave himself.
What's he doing?
I've got one of those. I don't have enough USB ports, so I bought one of those things that gives you about 3 extra, you know, ports, and he's swatting it around because
Yossi knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he does know what he's doing. They sent him out on an errand, and he had to. I don't know if he wants me saying it, so I won't. But yeah, he can take care of himself. Yeah, and we love him, and you know, we want his family safe. So yeah, thank God he's trained backwoods law. I feel for the people who aren't, and this is all going on around them. Like, also, what about, you know, the more mothers with their children who have no male in the family, like just, or have no protection
Mhm.
there. Like,
Mhm.
although Yossi did tell us, like, I think, you know, they're taking care of that for their own in Israel right now. And that's something in the United States too that I've heard that discussed about, that we can be deputized if we are invaded, that police have the right, like a captain, I think it is, I forget what level, but a police department can deputize citizens in
Mm.
like a really bad circumstance. Yeah.
Yeah, it's called martial law, dear.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping
Yeah.
it's not
Mhm.
going to that. But they already declared, I think, a state of emergency on my state. Is it all over the United States? Mm,
State of emergency in your state for what?
for the threats. For the threats.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
When they
Backwards said there-
issued the
yeah, right there.
threats. Painted
I
the
couldn't
yeah.
think of the name. He put it out there.
Yeah, that's a hard word to remember.
Posse
Posse comitatus. Yeah, I can see why people forget that.
yeah. The
Wow.
last time
one,
that
Doctor.
happened here in Washington State was during the last Indian War, 1854 to 1856, when
Wow.
the military and law enforcement, the little that was out here, had to gather up armed civilians and work together because of a major uprising came from the local Indians.
My sheriff won't do that because he's a complete idiot.
Good night. Good night, FOMO. That's what we call it, Kentucky Goblin. Good night, FOMO. The fear of missing out.
Good night,
We
neighbor.
understand. We totally get it.
They know
Oh,
how
he's
to
so-
say good night.
Oh,
to
how
him.
funny! Now I remember. Now I know why the guys remember it. Posse comitatus.
Tatas.
Ta-ta.
I see why men remember
Mhm.
it. Posse comitatus. Okay, thank you. Back with law. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
What did you miss, How to Garden? I missed what you missed. But yeah, that, I don't know, that just gave me a little hope that they can do that. I knew you would remember that.
Of
Well,
course,
listen,
here comes all the boys with the, you know,
Barry's losing
Playing in
control.
St.
He's
Petersburg.
losing it.
I was
He's
reading.
losing
I
I
was
don't know
reading
what you were
Gear's
talking
comment.
about.
He said, "Tatas, what?"
I
Mhm.
know.
it's like,
And then
all of a
Mark
sudden
was like, I
he's
don't-
awake. What? We're talking
What?
about
Mm.
I got to go now. I
See you,
got to
Kentucky.
chase the women around on YT.
I heard it mentioned. I don't know if it's true. How to Garden. So it might have just not been. You know how things go around on YT, and then you're like, that's not true. Like, where'd they get that from? Hold on. I don't know if I can look it up. Emergency in Florida. Yeah. Yep. He did. Actually, one day ago. DeSantis declares state of emergency in Florida because of the Israel-Hamas war. What does he know that we do not know?
Uh-huh.
Mhm. I wonder,
Well-
let's just go through states. Give me a state. Let's see, Kentucky. Let's look up Kentucky.
Look up mine too.
Okay.
Whatever you're looking for.
State of emergencies.
Oh yeah.
Governor Bush declares state of emergency. Head of
Oh, my
state- No,
governor's
that's
an idiot.
weather. I don't see it. Did you see if yours was under a state of emergency? I just see flooding. I don't see anything about Israel.
Should be a state of emergency here in Washington. You got to watch them Canadians. You know how sneaky
Yeah.
those Canadians
They
are.
might sneak right in, run away from Sparkle Socks,
Mhm.
but then they're running to they're running into the land of the potato. Who needs like shock therapy or something just to talk?
That's
Oh
right.
yes, he did.
I'm gonna bring
Take
all
your
my
maple
I'm gonna bring all my canning and all my sourdough bread, and that's it. I'm gonna be running into the States.
Just leave. Yeah, just hand over some maple syrup and some really good whiskey,
Yeah, exactly.
and you can come in anytime. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Canada makes the best whiskey, in my opinion.
What,
That's some
what brand?
fantastic stuff, man.
What brand?
Clearly, you've not had any
Oh, I
Kentucky
like
bourbon.
it. Well, Seagram's is good.
Mhm.
So is
Oh, you would think
oh God,
twice.
what's the other one? What's the other Crown Royal?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, Crown Royal's always
Bob,
pretty
Crown
good. Yeah.
Royal
Bob,
is
you would think
yummy.
twice. If you had to live within 20 minutes of the Seagram's plant in Aurora, Indiana, you would change your tune about that. Oh, God. 90 degrees, humidity 99%, and the smell of sour,
Mhm.
Oh, I
the
can
sour
imagine.
mash,
Oh
would
yeah.
permeate the air for miles.
Gross.
Oh
It's,
Lord.
Is it as bad as like a paper mill?
yes.
Oh,
Yes.
how many of you guys done that traveling and suddenly there's a paper mill?
I know what yeah.
I grew up.
That's why we call it the aroma of
I would
Tacoma.
rather.
A paper mill is down
We
there.
just say it's the smell of money. Like I grew up.
Yeah.
I grew up in a pulp and paper mill. Like I think we had 3 of them, major
Oh
ones.
wow! Oh my
Yeah.
Like,
goodness!
I would
And-
want to go back
Oh,
in
Lord.
time.
I can't find any other
And-
states right now,
Mhm.
but definitely ours is.
The thing is that a friend of mine, his friend was a coroner, and they said everybody that we open up, everybody's lungs are black. And he said the only thing that you can, we look at their fingers to see if the fingers are yellow, then we know they were a smoker. But everybody's lungs were black, and they have taken down. They've gotten rid of all the pulp and paper mills, but they still have a refinery. And it's like when I was back there, it was like this smells exactly the same as the pulp and paper mill. It's just, and it just gets, and my town was in a bowl, and so it just socks right in.
Ew, yeah.
Oh.
Just brutal. But yeah, if I was flying in once I moved here, I'd fly in, and in the airplane you go, oh yep, there's the smell of my
Yeah.
home. That's the smell of money. That's where
I mean, like, I would rather go
Mhm.
back in time right now to where I was growing up in Cleveland and smell the steel mills running than just smell Seagram's or paper mill. I mean, they're pungent just the same, but I would rather smell I guess maybe where I grew up around it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, just to go back to that time.
oh my
It's
God,
more or
things were
less
so much simpler back
simpler.
then. We had our share of problems back then too, though. Think
Yeah.
about it.
Problems never go away. They just change.
My
That's right.
elementary school was a fallout shelter.
Wow.
Because the Russians were going
yeah.
to come and bomb you.
Yeah,
That's right.
I came to Cleveland.
I
I
don't-
came back to Cleveland when I was 8 years old, and that was what 76 or 77.
Oh,
Do you know what? You know what has affected my mentality more than anything else was 2020 when Seattle went up in flames and the whole area was lit on fire.
Yeah, I can't even.
The whole
imagine.
Russian threat, the Chinese threat, all that, and now the Muslims and all that.
I can't.
My
I
own
couldn't
people,
even-
my own people, lighting the area on fire and looting and killing, and that has affected me more than anything else. Seeing
No, I
my
am not
own
a
people,
Browns
I've seen
fan.
it with my own eyes. You know,
I'm not a Browns fan. Never was.
like right now, I'm putting together a shoulder harness kit for standing guard duty on my own house right now.
Backwoods, I'm not even a sports fan, dude.
That's how real it is. I just got my front facing camera that I'm so happy to have, but of course I still do not have a hammer drill. A hammer drill.
Med kit.
I have lights, but they're hardwired. I still need to hardwire those. Because they're the directional. I'm going to put directional lights where our pretty little lights that barely light anything on our screen porch. I've got 2 of those with 2 lights each that you can move around. But I hate that they didn't give us an area to put up a floodlight on the house. Like we would have to, I think, call an electrician to get them out to figure out how to wire that. Like how we used to have them on the back of houses, like at the pinnacle, you would see. I didn't realize that homeowner probably put that in, like had it put in. I thought it kind of came with.
No, Bruce. I'm okay. I've got more gauze squares and all. I'm taking the directives from my wife, what to put into a small kit that we can carry on our pistol belt, gauze,
Good night, Garden.
Good night,
tape,
Glenn. Thanks for
and
coming in.
surgical tubing.
That I
You know,
still want that
just the
IFAC
real
kit.
because she has amputated arms,
Yeah.
legs.
She's in medical.
cut
Yeah,
open
she's in
people.
medical. You're set for that.
She said, so
You're welcome,
she put together our kit that's in the house and in the car, and that's what it contains: gauze, tape, surgical tubing, because that'll stop the
Yes.
bleeding, and you can, you know, slow the bleeding down, stop the bleeding, and get them to a hospital. You know,
Oh, you changed.
I just got a whole bunch
Messenger,
of.
did you change your thing? Are you the Polarian message also?
Yeah, here I got a bunch of surgical tape today, a
Thank
bunch
you
of
for
rolls
coming
of that.
in. Thanks, Barry. That's probably one of yours. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, because that's what they use in surgery when they amputate limbs and all that, is just stuff it full of gauze.
yeah,
and tape over it, and
Mhm.
get them on the surgical table.
I look at that. You know, I watched enough ER in the 90s that I feel like I can actually, you know, probably.
Oh,
do
right.
some
Yeah, like
surgery.
some of these shows.
And
you're
everything
like,
was
oh,
stat, you know.
I
It's like
totally
we need a Chem 7 stat. So it's
Yeah.
like I know all the legal terms. I should be able, you know, not taking it
like
away from you.
like
I
we
do
all should be able
know,
to empty
I
a
feel like
pen and
I
just
think I can do
break
stuff.
somebody.
I've heard
Just-
those things. We need to intubate.
yeah, that's it. The intubation with an empty
We need
pen.
a Chem 7 stat.
Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Yeah,
Crazy
the ER.
stuff. I wish I had a person that was,
Why is this
medically
staring at
trained.
grave?
Yes.
in
Yeah,
my
it's like,
house.
okay, so, you know, I know, you know, different groups, we always go, okay, who do we want to have in our little, you know, in our little
Yeah.
hub? And it's like, okay, we
Circle
want
of
you.
trust.
So it's like, we need to make sure that I've got a, you know, some sort of nurse or some sort of person that knows how to do things. I've been buying, you know, I do have different supplies and things like that, but yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I still want that IFAC, but I've got a really good kit. It's just plastic box. I wish I need something still to have on me, which is, I'm glad you came in, Backwoods Law. Maybe I still have time to order.
Yeah.
And I have a smaller,
Yeah,
I have one that's not as cool. I do have one. I can carry it. It looks like a bookcase, but
This is going to go on my wife's belt and mine. There's going to be stuff full of tape, gauze, and
okay.
surgical tubing.
So that's
'Cause
about the
I-
size of the IFAC, but it just folds out like the
Yeah,
medics have.
yeah.
Mhm. Cool, Bob.
This
wanna
goes
see
right
that.
onto our pistol belt now.
Bob has
That's
the coolest
awesome.
stuff on his channel for the end of the world. You should go check him out.
yes, yes.
Well, because I saw what happened in 2020 with the George Floyd
Yeah.
riots, and I saw how
Quick.
vicious people become instantly,
Mob
and they gang
mentality.
up and they go nuts
Mob
and they
mentality.
kill their neighbors and stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, don't bring it here.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Nice.
won't do anything of any violence
Nice.
because I'm a pacifist, you know.
Of course, Bob.
uh,
Never.
I
You
drink
don't-
Bud Light, and if I get angry, I urinate in a circle and throw my own. That's all I do.
Monkey fling poo.
Nice.
Yeah, monkey fling
Nice.
poo. I've been asked that on different lives. What are you going to do if somebody does this and that? And I'm not going to give away what I'm going to do. I just say I'll just scream like a bitch and throw my poop at them.
David did do that when he was surrounded by his enemies. I don't know if he flung poo, but he acted like he was crazy and foamed at the
Yeah.
mouth and stuff to get
Mhm.
basically away, like to make himself look like an idiot. Like, you know, that can't possibly be King David. He's a nut job, that guy over there. Like, that
There's
can't be
really
him.
good
Yeah.
stuff in a. Well, this one says my fac.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
IFAC. Yeah.
Yeah, this
They're
one. This
really-
one's just mine. It's quite pretty. It's red, so of course that caught my eye.
Oh,
Oh, I can have
of course.
it can choose different colors. It's $169.95, probably US. So it's
Yeah.
probably like
Mercy.
200.
The thing is,
Watch
is
those
the
Americans.
good
Watch
kits
those
will
Americans.
fold right out, so you can like access everything, and it lays out in front of you. And
Mhm.
I totally forgot about getting one since
Yeah,
Backwoods
this
Law has
stuff is
been
just made for
absent.
to stop a GSW or a knife wound
Okay.
and get them to the hospital. That's what my wife kept stressing. You know, you hear on YouTube, and you know, you
Yeah.
do.
No,
this and you do that. And then my wife just said, no, you get them to a hospital
Yeah,
or they're going to die,
exactly.
period.
Yeah, you're not just
Especially if
sewing
you get
that
hit with
up
an
and
M16.
going. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
for
just
that
gonna-
price, I'll
Yeah.
just tear my shirt off and use it for a bandage.
Mhm.
That works too. If it's a clean shirt, worked in World War One.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah,
didn't-
because I watched some of the videos a little bit with my wife, but I talked to her quite a bit about, you know, the preparedness,
Yeah.
so and so, and I say, well, what is the most important? She just says gauze.
Yeah.
Stuff that wound full of gauze and get them to the hospital.
Okay.
But they all say that there'll be no fuel and everyone's gonna. And she said, no, just get them to the hospital.
Mhm.
Especially if you get shot with an M16, you're probably not going to make it to the hospital.
Mm.
That bullet's devastating, guys. The AR bullet, it's devastating. I saw one guy got hit with an M16. Down he went, dude. It's done.
Mm,
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of us can't like fathom what our bodies will do beneath us when we see things like that.
Mhm.
And my
Like-
problem is I can't apply electronics to heal somebody.
That would be cool.
I can't sing to them to heal somebody. So
Well,
can't-
you could shock them if their heart stops beating technically, because that's what they kind of give them a little.
Yeah, I could bring a person back that way, but I mean, yeah, the engineers weren't really meant to.
No.
Yeah.
But it's kind of along the same mindset.
We go through
Engineers and doctors, but doctors engineer the body.
Engineers try to do their best to avoid getting electrocuted by something that's running, you know, thousands of amps through it. And
Yeah. Yeah, it's been doing that tonight. But then it catches up. It's been really weird.
but
Yeah,
I
your
have had
latency
I've
is
had
off, but then you-
CPR. I've
Mhm.
had CPR training and first aid, and
Just
Yeah, me
blame
too.
Canada, for God's sake.
I
Blame
know, it's all
Canada.
sparkle socks.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Like, where are all these people anyway?
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry. I'll try to do better.
Oh, geez.
Oh, well, I know. Like, you're just across the water from me. It's probably
Yeah.
mine. I'm probably taking all the signal to my house so that you don't get as much signal. So your latency. You do catch up, but it's quite funny.
stop it, Marnie, stop it.
Those Canadians are throttling our signal.
See, the Canadian admitted it. The Canadian confessed to it all.
I took all the interwebs. All of it's mine. I'm running two screens, so that's
All
why.
your base are belong to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. Backwards law. I know you guys got to hand it down when you're firefighter, plus with your being the emergency coordinator. I think it was coordinator. Yes,
Yeah,
always
somebody
blame,
like-
always blame Canada if you're an American, and then the Canadians blame America.
Yep. Well, no,
Somebody
actually,
like
we also blame Quebec. Okay, we
Quebec.
blame
blame,
Quebec
you guys
first,
blame
I-
Quebec.
I-
and
say
then
Quebec?
the state.
That's I need to know. What is the proper way to say that place? Quebec. Qua?
Well, Quebec is fine,
Quebec,
but
okay.
usually over there they say Quebec.
I say
Quebec.
Quebec
Okay.
because
okay.
we have
Let's
a
just-
lot of
Quebec,
people
Quebec,
from Quebec
Quebec.
that come down.
Let's
Yeah.
just throw Ontario in there just for good measure.
Oh, that's its own country.
It's
okay?
almost Michigan.
It's like hi, we are the country of Canada, and the rest of you are the peons, and we don't.
You
You
know,
don't.
yeah, like
Oh, okay.
living
okay.
in Cleveland is almost like living in Canada. Yeah, we got all the weather from up there.
Yeah,
Not
it's
that
their
that's your fault. It's not, but it's
our
like,
fault. Yeah,
I
just me
remember
over
about
here on my
this
little
law.
island. I'm affecting
Oh,
the entire
that lake
United
effect was so much fun in the wintertime. No.
I love you, Marie.
Damn you, Lake Erie.
States.
Being
Right.
chilled to the bone is always awesome. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that. I got that in Pennsylvania. I never want to feel that again.
Right, yeah.
No.
And you look
Oh,
out,
boy.
you look out by the Hard Rock Cafe. There's a lighthouse out there, and there are waves that froze in place over the lighthouse.
Wow.
There's a lighthouse under
Oh,
there
good God.
somewhere, but the
Yeah.
waves are frozen in place. It's so weird and cool at the same time.
Mm.
Yeah, backwards. I remember. That's why if you said that there's a lot of IT and stuff going on. Yeah,
Yeah,
they were warning us about that though with the big R. That was one of the things too that supposedly Israel was considering that the big R got into their dome, hacked it, and that's why it wasn't going off like it usually does, sensing what was coming in. Because they were like, there's no way
Probably just
Hamas did that.
they were probably just waiting for orders.
Oh, these little kitties are so cute.
Let me go get some water. I'll be right
Okay.
back, guys.
I think the Iron Dome, I thought it runs the program all the time, pretty much.
Yeah, you're right, Passamaquoddy. I probably don't, because you also have what's coming off of the Atlantic too.
It feels like until you've been
That nor'easter.
Yeah. New Hampshire, I've been to both those and also up near Lake Placid in New York in the middle of winter. It took me down. The cold was so bad for me because I'm not used to it. I got sick because of my asthma. Like I was visiting this place called Word of Life. It was like a little Bible college. I'm sure that my parents were hoping I would just go to, it was when I was trying to decide what I was going to do once I graduated. But then once I got sick, they didn't want me up there. They realized it was just too cold for little Carol's body. But yeah, I got to see maybe a little bit of the school. But I also, in fairness to the cold, they were having a snowball fight. And somehow someone hit me square in the nose.
Ouch.
And almost knocked me. Like I almost blacked out. Some guy came and practically caught me and was like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "No, I can't see right now."
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been in the cold. My husband will not go. Aw. That's so sweet.
Like so
Is that Dark
soft.
Claw and Missy?
It just that's Phoenix. I still haven't seen.
Charlie?
Charlie, yeah.
Oh no, Charlie's.
But yeah, that's Phoenix right there, laying like in his belly, just about upside down.
Yeah, they get hot. They can get some hot summers. I was there one year and it was very, very hot. I was surprised. I was like, "This is mean," but then it cools off at night, which is fabulous. We don't cool off at night here. I heard on the down low, the Iron Dome got overwhelmed. Oh. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Wow.
That's scary.
So they found the Achilles heel of it. That's sad.
Yeah, the right amount somehow. They said they do think, they had somebody on the inside helping them. They got someone on the inside giving them information. But I don't know. All I know is I want some peace. I want some peace. But the Bible says where they are, like, what was it? Where they say peace and safety. Like, don't trust that. You're going to get the opposite. You're going to get the opposite in times like these. And they were just trying to sign, like, the Arabs and the Israelis. Weren't they trying to sign something too to do with peace right before all this started?
At least that was my understanding. But
yeah, they were saying too that could have stirred up the big H also. Yeah, I heard Russian. Yeah, that's what I heard too. I heard that too, Passamaquoddy. But just like we say, who knows? Like, there's so many things going around.
Too many moving
That's
parts.
it. The Abraham. Thank you. The Abraham.
gosh.
After Father Abraham. Can't bring those two sons together. Look what happens.
Oh, we're getting another photo.
Oh, you're going to get a video. There's a little tree frog crawling on my window.
Oh my.
Oh, funny. I was watching a
Cool.
video where somebody had one of those for a pet and it ate her finger. Like he just ate his dinner and he was like,
What?
Yeah, he was sitting there on her finger trying to devour her finger. She's like, yeah, that's not going to work.
They're not exactly the smartest. Reptiles are not that smart.
No, that one definitely wasn't. Although I think like some of those bearded dragons, I don't know, they're so chill. I think they're kind of cool.
Are you just posing for the camera now? It just stopped crawling up the window. It's just like,
It's just hanging out. It's like, here's your show. Hello, my
right.
baby. Hello, my darling.
Yeah.
Hello, my ragtime
Send me a kiss
gal.
by
Send me a
wire. Baby, my
kiss
heart's
by
on fire.
wire. Honey, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you'll lose me. Then you'll be all alone. So telephone and tell me I'm your
Very nice.
own.
I didn't expect that ending.
that was really good.
Very nice, Bob. Now go back in your box.
Yeah, no, sit down, shut up. You know?
He's about this big.
Oh my gosh.
He looks big on your thing. We have the big Cuban ones. They're huge. They can get
What are
really
you
huge.
doing, little
And
buddy?
they'll pee on you if you disturb them on a.
The pond is
Yeah.
that way.
Mhm.
I've
Go to the
opened a door
pond,
and
little
gotten
baby.
peed on.
Yeah, I
Oh,
hear the
yeah,
frogs
they do, a
outside
lot
on
of them.
my cameras.
That's true.
That
They
was for
do.
you, Homestead Aquarius.
Got a little frog.
Bruce, you should see. Backwoods Law. You should see what one of my shorts. Just one of the iguanas that's come to my moringa tree.
See your shorts.
Yeah, see my shorts.
How do you know if they're
You wanna see my
Cuban
shorts?
frogs? Do they have little maracas or something? Do they dance in a conga line? Do they have maracas?
La cucaracha.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what they do. Yep.
Shake, shake, shake,
I catch them
senora.
making paella on my back porch. Oh no, that's the Spaniard ones. No,
Paella?
no. They make the little they make the medianoche sandwiches on my back porch. That's it.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Those are so good. Can you
You got
imagine?
to get out of here. You're from Cuba. You don't. This is
Cuba.
Florida. You gotta
Mm.
leave, man.
Cuba.
Cuba. Yeah, Cuba.
Can you imagine though, like going out back, if cartoons were real, going out back and seeing little frogs with their like little bread presses,
God.
tiny little bread presses, having a party. I need that in my life right now. Somebody make that a video, please.
It's looking at you now. Hey there, little
Do
buddy.
you remember that? Do you remember that movie with who was it?
Not
The
yet.
Mask, where he had the green, where he found the mask and it would change his personality.
Yes.
Okay, when he put on the mask in that movie and he started dancing the Cuban conga line. When I die and I wake up, I want to be in that scene for all time, dancing the conga line. I think that would, man. If I wake up tomorrow and I'm, hey, thanks God, rock on, man. Can I have some rum too? What do you think? To me, that would be heaven if I could sing and dance all night. And
I think there will
man,
be.
you
I don't know
know,
if it'll be so much us directed, but yeah, I think that's going to be going on. A lot of singing, a lot of dancing, a lot of rejoicing. No more pain and tears and things like
oh,
that.
I think it should be. I think
Yeah.
I think it
Me
should be,
too.
man. Long as they got some good rum and some fresh cooked food here and there.
I
don't need to eat, but
Yeah, it's food in heaven. It's probably
Bring it on.
something like we've never had before. It'll be the best thing ever and make us forget
Oh, you
what
could
we
have-
had
you could
here.
just-
It'll be so good.
yeah,
That's why.
yeah. And the women,
No, Bob.
con chica, what?
No,
No?
that's not heaven. No,
Morena,
you're thinking of the wrong
bye.
heaven. You're thinking of the
That's-
heaven that the
Oh,
Hamas
no,
guys
I
want.
wouldn't. I gotta have brown women in my heaven. If
Oh,
there
I'm
ain't no
sure there's
brown
some.
women,
Yeah, no,
I ain't going.
I'm sure there's every color of the rainbow woman, and but I don't know. We'll be known
I
by
sure
our
hope so.
spirit, so I don't know what that'll be like. We'll have glorified bodies. Yeah, we're all good here. Just this is some stack.
I think heaven
Good.
for me would be if I could dance a conga line all night or get tired, have some, serving lumpia, grab some snacks and some rum and Coke and go back to man, that to me would be
awesome.
paradise,
Yeah.
Smile and laugh and dance forever. Oh, that would be great.
I know.
Prepping food. Where are you from? Because you're saying good morning. It's It's only 11:44 for me. We're not even in the
It's
morning.
2:44 over here, so it's
Yeah.
very early morning if you're.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. That's true.
I forget where P2E is.
Yeah, because Bob, you're in the same time zone as me.
Yeah, you're pretty much just up north of me a little bit.
I'm just up here taking all your interwebs is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just sucking all the interwebs. You can have no Wi-Fi.
It is early. Gosh, I still feel bad about Brutal Bob. Like, I don't, oh my goodness, I'm not against the Palestinian people.
Oh, in Jersey.
Yeah, just my heart. I feel so bad. It affects all the families. It's just sad. Yeah, it's good to see you in here, P2E, and especially Bruce. That was quite a surprise. Really, really appreciate you. Actually, I should be looking for that IFAC actually while I'm on here. I know Walmart had some good prices.
He just caught a fly. His little tongue went.
And he got
GIs
it.
like listen.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh my God, he's eating
Old
it.
GIs like Bruce and I are kind of strapped.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, don't panic. If it comes, don't panic. Keep breathing, and your
Actually, I
training will
should get
kick
it on
in.
here and then I'll put it up on screen.
That'd be cool.
See.
I think
Yeah,
I'm
looks
gonna.
like Kermit the Frog, only smaller.
Hey, he's Kermit the Frog here.
Oh my gosh. Who was it? They were saying, I forget the name of the doctor. He sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Dr. Seuss?
No, he's on, you see him on YouTube, and he's a psychologist, and his daughter has like her own channel that has millions of people like on her channel. What is his name? She did a TED talk, and they went the TED talk because she's a conservative would not publish it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Respond, do not react. Reacting gets you room temperature.
Oh, that's a nice thought.
Mhm.
Okay, here we go.
Mhm.
What is this one?
Yep.
No, that's a backup. Hold on.
The sitting duck is a dead duck.
True. Okay, I can't find. All right, here, I'm just going to put up the kit. Even Temu has these. This is too weird. Okay. Let me see. Present. You guys can continue talking. I'm just.
Yeah, Duncan, I think it's out here on my window because the light it sees is coming off of that one over here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's dark outside, and
insects are attracted to the light too.
Yeah,
Barry.
he's loving it, or he or she is loving it right now.
Get out of there. Keep having pop-ups. Thank you guys. Hold on. Let me see what you guys are. Here we go. All right, here it is. It's the iFat. See how it folds out, and then it's got the belt loops for your belt. This one is actually only these are
really
only $14.99 right now in that color.
Mm-hmm.
In the tan or the black, they have it right now. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. This
one okay. That's in my that's on my list on Facebook.
That's basically what I'm packing.
Yeah, it looked like you had one, Bob.
Yeah.
Walmart.
Okay.
Man, but then
it's the same kind of a bag, but the inside's going to be even simpler. Go back to Walmart.
I saw a better one, I think.
I haven't been in a Walmart.
Oh, I'm sure there's better ones.
Years.
I'm just giving a base.
Yeah.
Because most of us have first aid stuff, and then the packed ones, you're looking at like $100.
Oh my gosh, there was one for. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
There's one for like $200 something on Amazon. It was 245 person first aid kit. You know, this thing was like almost the size of a backpack.
So it's a hospital.
This is it's basically
right.
It's a medic kit.
I showed that kind of stuff to my wife. I showed that kind of stuff to my wife, and she goes, "You don't need that. You don't need that. Just gauze, tape, surgical tubing. Go. That's what you need. You know."
Right, here's a kit that at least Bruce would be like, "That's better." Oh, was that really your cat? That didn't even sound real.
He's not happy.
No, not at all.
Not happy.
This one
she doesn't want anything to do with you.
Okay, this is from Hold on. I'll show you in one sec. This is from a place called Rhino Rescue Store. This would be the trauma kit that would go inside. It's a refill for the IFAC. It's got a metal tourniquet. I didn't know. Anyway, it's on sale right now for $59.99. It comes with 2 chest seals, 1 compression gauze, 1 emergency bandage, 4-inch. I don't know why you only get 1. Skin color emergency bandage, 6-inch, 1 rhino tourniquet. Those are the big ones. The tourniquets are what bring up the price.
What color is that skin color? Is it?
I
your
know,
skin
exactly.
color or my
Yeah.
skin color.
Exactly. It's probably prejudice. I hope it's at least somewhat tanner than just
Racist.
It's a
total
racist
racist
one.
band-aids.
Racist IFAC.
Emergency blanket, scissors.
Burn it down.
Oh, what is that? A nasopharyngeal airway. What? Oh, is that the thing you
Or
can
they
put
cut
over
right
there
here.
for CPR?
Or they cut right through here.
Oh,
Okay,
is
I
that-
don't know how to do
Something
that
that's
one.
blocking your trachea, they can cut right through here. and
Oh,
that little
yeah.
hole.
I don't think I
Okay.
saw it
Yeah,
on
otherwise you can
ER,
breathe.
so I'm not going to be good for that one.
Yeah,
That's
not
for
gonna
sure.
be good for that.
That would be a hard one, but if you really care about that person, you're going to do that
Yeah.
cut anyway.
Yeah. Tourniquet. Hold on. Let me see. Wait a minute. Combat cravat. I don't know what that is. Elastic crepe bandage. It's got eye shield. Duct tape because you always have to have duct tape.
I have duct tape.
And a marker too.
Yeah,
Um,
I ordered more stuff because I don't take gear from one kit to transfer to another
I can
kit.
never
Oh.
catch a
I
duck
ordered
to get
more
any
gauze
tape
squares
off
and
of.
more
Yeah.
tape and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, the chest seals too are what bring up the price too, right? Oh, it's just a sling. Thank you. The big words they throw me. They're for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, he appreciated it. He said, "Yes, that
Oh,
is a
you said you
reminder."
put it in their nose.
It sounded like it. Naso is here. Nasopharyngeal.
Oh,
pharynx.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. So
I was
those-
thinking tracheal.
Well, good thing we didn't go and start trying to cut open someone's throat with that. Jeez.
I told you I was an
Mhm.
engineer, not a medic.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. I couldn't remember what the marker was from
If
first
anything,
aid.
I'm radar
What
for
time?
MASH,
Put on the
Okay.
tourniquet so they know how much time they're working with once you get them somewhere.
Mhm.
And hopefully there'll be hospitals. That was,
And
I think. Go ahead.
I'm a sharp. Oh, it said marker for putting times and dates on things. Well, I always have like handfuls of Sharpies all the
I
time.
love
Every-
Sharpies.
I'm
But
sharp.
they have to be put away with my son because they're Sharpies.
Yes, and then they
And-
don't
Like Sharpies are fun.
Yeah.
for
The
the
person who
walls.
lived here before thought the walls were a great place to use a Sharpie and write their friends' names and all kinds of words and emo. They were emo. We know
The
they're
only
emo.
the only questions. There's only 2 questions. Only 2 questions I will ask any during combat
GSG.
and they get wounded is number 1, do you have any gold fillings? And number 2, do you have any cash in your wallet?
Terrible,
And
boss.
that's it. That's all I'm gonna. No,
Oh,
no, it's not. What?
don't forget the food. And do you have any extra food in your bag that won't spoil that you haven't opened?
My dad's got a diamond in one of his teeth and gold.
Well, we're gonna split up your.
Oh my goodness.
So my sister.
Okay, yeah, you go first then.
So my sister is always threatening my dad. Yeah, we're gonna take you out, and she says not take you out, but once you die, she goes, I'm going in, and I'm removing all of that jewelry out of your mouth. Like,
Dark Paw just discovered
No,
the
I
tree
know.
frog.
Oh,
no
funny.
and no. What was Duncan? Oh, it was there a question? Because I don't know what the questions. I'm always behind.
No, I think she just said no and no to like doing those things like the trach and the
Well, we just found out we don't have to.
That's okay, Joe. Stay safe while you're driving.
Mm.
I understand.
But still.
Yeah, drive safe.
Why? I mean, why would the governor of Florida declare? Is it really a state of emergency?
I don't
Really?
know. I think he wants to look like he's protecting his people because he's in a presidential race right now.
Why
Yeah.
don't you?
Oh,
Why
there
don't
you
you? Why don't
go.
you give
There
him
you,
a call?
there you go.
When he's,
Yeah,
I'm sure he's
yeah.
still up. Just give him a quick call and ask
Yeah,
him.
let me just call
why.
Ron. I got him on speed dial right here. Hey, Ron, what's going
Hey,
on up there in Tallahassee?
yeah, well, there you go. You got on speed dial.
What's the deal?
Hey, Ron, what's up?
Yeah, I'm doing my live. The people want to know. That would be wild.
Do you want
Yeah.
Andy Bashir's number next?
Hmm.
Because he's a freaking idiot.
No,
That's
I'd
right,
rather-
Andy. I'm calling you out. I don't
I'd
care
rather
if you're
keep
my governor or
politicians
not.
off my phone because I'm probably have the 3-letter agencies in them. So
He should run. He should run around with sparkle socks. There, they make really good buddies.
I don't know about that. I don't like his name. It's racist. I'm not. His name's Ron
What?
White.
Who?
He's the race. It's racist. That name. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know about that gear. He's got to change his.
If you say
gotta
that one more
change his
time, I'm
name.
going to go burn down a Walgreens pharmacy nearby my house. I'm going to go burn it down. Yep.
I don't do anything to the tampons because they are for bullet holes. Get as many as you can out of there first, okay? And no, they're not, people. I'm making a joke. Whoever's listening to this afterwards.
Don't.
I know I've heard that before, and I asked my wife about that. How about tampons? No, those absorb blood. You make them bleed to death. You know? Oh, okay. Sounds fair to me.
I've heard that, but I don't know if it's really true. That's what bothers me.
That's take it from.
He's been good to our state so far. So I can't as far as protecting us during that whole COVID disaster crap and not letting us go completely under like other states did. Considering we are a tourist state, like some of this stuff might look nuts to people, but we're a tourist state and we need the money to start up faster and to get people in and out of the state. But I could see like why people were like, but there was no, like they were lying to everybody. There was no way to stop it. It was airborne. I was in private. They threw you into a public office? What? You were in the privates. Were you in the privates here? I didn't see you. Oh, weird. Okay.
We talk about a lot of things, but leave
That's
our privates
awful.
out of it.
I know. All of a sudden, he's bringing up the privates. What's going
I mean,
on there?
Does this look like a face you could trust? Honestly,
Who does he look like? He looks like some. Oh my! Yeah, he doesn't look
Looks
real.
like a
in that
mannequin.
picture. It looks like like one of the wax museum setups.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. Faces can lie. Because like that one guy. Oh, I forgot. Okay.
he probably has.
Now
He's a politician. And he has your best interests at heart.
Absolutely.
this is
Every aspect of my health, my well-being, my financial.
Everything.
Yes, they are totally thinking about me, and I'm up in Canada.
And he should be worshipped. And he should be worshipped as a god.
that was a wrong way. Okay, on his stand-ups. Okay. I don't even know who he is. I'm sorry. I'm so out of it. What was that?
World?
He looks like
There was fighting going on over at your place. Oh yeah, he does look like Dan Aykroyd from Ghostbusters, a younger Dan
just a
Aykroyd.
little bit. Yeah, younger one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why Barry was showing him. Okay, so what was it? It was last weekend when I was still not feeling that well. This lady who barely goes on, one night she went on and called her thing Fri-Yay, and that's how I met her because I'm like, hey, that's kind of my tag phrase. I don't mind you using it, but I kind of do, but I don't, like, because this is YouTube. And we just kind of hit it off. She's a Christian lady. Come to find out, this one guy that's been in my side chats and I've gone over to his channel is a convicted pedophile on here. And he just got,
Isn't that pleasant?
yeah, and he just got caught for trying to meet with a 14-year-old and was in jail. Yeah.
Is anybody I know?
Harold something
Anybody I know?
Adventures. He changes his name a lot, but he's just he seems like such a Southern gentleman. And that's why, like, you can't trust faces. There
No.
could be demons hiding beneath.
Yeah,
Okay,
when I
yeah, I figured he was when he said
Mhm.
stand up, Bruce. I kind of
Right.
got that part, but I don't remember him. I'll have to look him up.
Yeah, actually, tonight when I was looking up your channel and I was just Googling it, there is a second South Florida Sunshine with an S on it, but it has Alicia King's fans and it has
Yeah,
13.
I saw that and I was like, I don't know what that is. And it's been inactive for so long. That was
It's
the
been
only one I saw with my name. And I was like, what does that have to do with South Florida Sunshine? I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But yeah, that was awkward. That's just, but they haven't been active. I don't know if they will be now that I am on the name. I have no idea.
Mm,
But I saw that too. And I was like, well, they're not a gardening channel and they haven't been active. And
mhm,
I am in South Florida.
mm,
And my nickname is usually Sunshine from Tibor, which I haven't seen him.
mhm.
It was also my grandmother's song. We sang it at her memorial. Sunshine. She would sing it to all us. Why is there any other trash like crap on me that you
No,
found?
no,
You're like,
no.
yes,
It's like, who is this? That's not Carol. I don't know who you are. I can't click you. No.
Nope.
Yeah, I was just checking
Yeah,
on my
backwards law, right? It's not surprising. We've got like petty pedophiles and criminals hiding on here.
No, they're
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Barry, you and
I
I have
saw
talked
him,
about this
Bob.
guy
I
more
saw
than
that guy
once.
because you sent me an email and I got the late email and went and saw that crazy guy. Reported him, the hat guy,
Oh my
the knife guy.
yeah,
And then I
yeah.
saw the other
He's
one
just
in the chat.
he's my stalker.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, Maccabeus. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a piece of shit. Just an old meth head who's squatting on somebody else's property, pretending to be a survivalist. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't make any comments though because I don't want them coming in my direction.
No,
but I did report.
I don't want them.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Good.
need that in my life. When I saw that and saw the comments and stuff, I was
boy.
like, yeah, no.
That freak in the hat with all the jewelry on, he's been stalking me and slandering me for years now. Same with the pervert that follows me around here, my actual stalker. They don't stop. They're sick. They're really diseased people.
That's horrible.
Oh, that video that I've got on my channel of showing my stalker. Remember at my last house filming?
Yeah.
I get comments every day about how I should surrender and give him the sex that he wants.
That's the stalker
like that all the time.
Yeah. That's either
that's
him
the same
or it's
guy.
The same probably saying stuff because he was saying you didn't have any video, and I was like, he does have video. What are you talking about? You're talking out of your excuse me. I don't want to say it, but talking out of your bum. But yeah, there's so much stuff on here. You just have because we're basically in a
really
city.
Polluted.
We're in a city, basically. Think of it that way. We're really in a city.
Bruce. Bruce, you know me pretty well. How I could, yeah. But everything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. So I got to be careful. Yeah.
So I wonder how the time change on
Duncan?
my life is going to work out for the trolls.
Yeah, they'll have to give that. You have to come up and put that in the privates.
Those comments I get on that video, one of two people, either the guy who was outside my last house or the guy in Florida with the top hat and the girl's jewelry on.
Oh my goodness.
One of the two.
Yeah, I would.
Or both.
Please no.
Yeah.
Okay, Rodney.
Why can't we all just get along?
I remember that, but that was so sad. That was horrible.
Yeah, that's what some of these. I got another comment like that today. Why don't you give up your frustrations and go to him?
Yeah, Bob.
Well, and I keep getting the,
like,
Yeah. guys
The
said.
flappers.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll surrender and let the guy in my house. Yeah, that's going to happen.
Just think, Bob, he's probably taken like 1,000
Yeah,
screenshots of you in different poses from your being on lives and stuff.
sure he is.
He's printed them out. He's like probably
Sure he
burned 2
has. Sure he
gallons
has.
of printer ink, printing high gloss photos
Sure.
and stuck them on
Yeah.
the wall. It's gonna be
Yep.
like one of those
Mm-hmm.
Movies where the FBI breaks into the stalker's home and their
Yep.
whole wall is just nothing but pictures of Bob.
Mhm.
There's some reality to some of those movies.
I'm sorry,
you know,
I probably
that-
should joke about that because it's probably true.
Well, it's okay because it makes light of it, but why me?
Yeah, exactly.
Why me?
Mhm.
No idea.
I mean,
You're
I
so damn good
understand what
looking,
women go
Bob.
through, but straight men will stop. The straight men who will stop pursuing a woman, and these guys who go for other guys are not sane. They are not. They're and pursuing me for years and insulting and all that other stuff for years. And you think I'm gonna go to
Yeah,
you?
exactly.
Ain't gonna
Yeah.
happen. But yeah, you can walk through my garage door if you want to. Come on in. Come on in. Why don't you let me see? Yeah. Why don't you let me
Yeah.
see you overseas? Why don't you follow me over there? Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're just, and they say evil.
Shit show.
The greatest
Carol,
lie that evil ever tells is that it doesn't exist, and these people are freaking evil.
I'm fading here, so I'm gonna say
Okay,
goodnight.
hon. Have a good night. Yeah, I'm gonna call it.
In 4 hours.
Yeah. Whoa. How
All
did we
right.
do that?
Crazy.
Yeah. Boy,
I'm
that
sure.
went by fast.
I'm sure I offended a fair amount of people too. When they...
You didn't offend me. This,
Yeah, I'm
if
shocked.
you offended me, the
you know.
smile makes up for it. So
It's just like the way of
these
cancel
2 beautiful
culture.
ladies up here top,
Oh,
smiles.
thank
That's enough
you.
to.
Yeah, I
Like,
love
you know.
having Maureen come up. She's awesome. I love having you all come up. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for your support and stuff,
Mhm.
especially while I'm getting, these little Twinkie greeting
Mhm.
cards behind the scenes. It's wonderful.
Mm.
Yeah, because those make me like, what am I doing on here?
Why do I keep
Oh.
risking it so that I get the flashing?
Yeah, like maybe I'm just gonna.
I don't know how you don't hurl right on camera.
I know it's hard not to,
Mhm.
Barry. I'm telling you. Also hard not to just throw my thing here against the wall and set it on fire. But anyway, thank you everybody for coming in. I appreciate you so much, and I pray God's peace over you, especially right now in these times, over your mind, over your lives, and over your heart. Have a good night, and hopefully I will see you next Friday. Thanks,
I'll be doing a live
everybody.
tomorrow.
Yay!
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. And Maureen will be live tomorrow. And Barry has changed his time on Sunday. He's going to try and come on at 9:30. Right, Barry?
Mm-hmm.
Is that EST, Eastern?
Yeah.
Okay, 9:30
What time was it
Eastern.
again?
9:30. He's going to move
9:30.
it up. Mhm.
Yeah. I'm
And it-
7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay. So 10.
So that's
my time?
9 o'clock
10?
Central and 10 o'clock for
Yeah,
East.
10. I got it.
Hopefully we can bring the lashes back up again.
Good night, everyone. Oh, yes, your lashes. Oh, I almost left my studio. Yeah, no, I want to stay. I need to end the stream. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah.
God
Good night,
bless.
everyone.
Good night, everybody.